Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network presentation of Moonlight Racing League Monday Night Mayhem. We're too wide in the booth tonight. Mean Gene Money, Aaron Brown bringing you all the action from Darlington Raceway. It's race number 4 of our 13-race season, and that track is looking slick. The boys are spinning. Aaron, what do you see from our perspective?
I'm seeing a lot of slipping and sliding around here. We got a hot racetrack tonight, and it's only going to get cooler throughout the night. So it's good. The track conditions are going to change all night long. We're going to see these drivers slip and slide. We're going to see them get tight, hit the wall. We're going to see a lot of crashing tonight. We're going to see a lot of battling as well.
I'll tell you what, people should have brought a bathing suit with as much slip and slide as we're seeing so far. We're getting ready to do 130 laps here. No caution scheduled. Of course, there is that stage points award at the halfway mark, but no caution will be there. So basically, you can go 48, 50 laps on gas, but what about tires, Aaron? You going to make that? You going to do it?
And tires are going to be very, very tight, but I think eventually, just the least amount of stops will be a little bit faster, but those drivers are going to have to be very careful with those tires. You can't go out there in those first 20 laps. You can't go and rip it as fast as you can. You got to take your time. You got to be very patient, back up those corners as much as possible, and you want to limit those slides throughout those corners. That's going to be the most important thing. These drivers, it's going to get very tight. That's what this car seems to be trending like. As soon as I say that, there's one car spinning in the background. These drivers, they get very tight, but they could get loose. If they get really tight and try to force the car to turn, you see that back end go around and go spin off the corner. So we could see a little bit loose later in the run, depending on how these drivers are driving. But I think most of the time, these drivers are going to be struggling to keep it tight, and we'll probably see them hit the wall, bounce off the wall a little bit.
Yeah, 1.3 mile track, 27 drivers currently registered to run. So we're going to see cars next to each other pretty much all night long. 25-degree banking in 1 and 2, 23-degree banking in 3 and 4. So everybody's going to think they can probably go a little bit faster than they want to. What do you think? 2 stops, maybe 4 sets of tires. So in theory, you're going to have one more set if there's a late caution. Can't wait to see how that strategy is going to end up playing out here today. Last week, of course, the boys were at Echo Park. Aaron, and what a story. All day long, we saw the High Side Hustlers. We saw MC Motorsport. We saw Sean Walton and the gang dominate that race, but that's not who won. Matt Novella out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, that was an awesome race last week. We saw a lot of those drivers. We saw a lot of carnage right at the start. They kind of calmed down a little bit, and they got very hectic right at the end. Novella was able to steal it away with all those high side hustlers right at the very end. He was able to sneak on through and find his way to the front, and he parked in the victory lane. We'll see if he can do it again tonight.
Yeah, I tried to chase down David Owens after the race. Remember, we didn't get that interview with Thornton or Owens, and he seemed to have some choice words for that number 43 of Zach Clausen, not getting the restart that bottom lane wanted, causing a little bit of upset in the High Side Hustler garage area. 32 drivers did battle last week. Right now, we got 27 scheduled, and that's a big improvement. You know, Aaron, it's been 2 years since we last visited Darlington. It was actually a round of 8 playoff race in season 3, and all the names are different. The top 3 that day, David Cook, Buddy Sully, and here's a name that is here today, Jonathan K. Sabir. Little side story, though, Aaron. Sean Walton and Colin Bollinger both did terrible on Darlington last time, so I'm curious to see if they hate the track or if that it was just a bad luck day for those, because those guys are always fast.
Well, Colin Bollinger, he seems to not like if he doesn't like the track, that'd be kind of not what I'm seeing right now, because right now he's second on the board in practice here with a 28.965 right behind Jordan Fisher. So Bollinger looking fast here in practice. We'll see what he can do in qualifying. Qualifying just right around the corner, 20 seconds left of practice. So Jordan Fisher on top of the board so far, but we'll see if Bollinger maybe can rebound after 3 years ago, and maybe he can park in the victory lane tonight.
Now, the question, of course, is which Jordan Fisher is going to show up? Is it going to be the Jordan Fisher that won or got second place in week 1 at Charlotte? Or is it going to be the Jordan Fisher that caught up in accidents the last 2 weeks here at Kansas and at Echo Park? Fisher has shown great speed. He's at the top of my list for Rookie of the Year, or at least rookie I would keep an eye on. Question is, though, can he harness the power of that vehicle and not get out of control here today? Looks like practice is over, and we're about to go to qualifying. What do you think? This is about as good a time as any to kick it over to our sponsor.
Well, right now we're going to take a quick break here. From a word from KK Woodscapes, we'll be right back.
What's this? Trophies. Look at these trophies. Oh, yeah. Oh, a surfboard. Yeah. Oh, check out that Daytona 24. Yeah. Oh, wine bottle. Big time. Cup of wine in the big time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, I think Kevin Kyle's excited, and my name being Mean Gene, I'm excited too, listening to that. Hey, and KK Woodscapes, that's not just for your iRacing trophies. You could put those anywhere. Fantasy Football League coming up, full effect right now. Go ahead and get yourself a championship trophy, and don't forget that last place trophy. Memorialize your buddy's 1-13 season so he never forgets. Hey, you could make him go to Waffle House. You could make him eat as many hot dogs as Joey Chestnut, but why not give him a trophy to remember that? Meanwhile, back on the track, I see the 37 out there running today. Evan Stewart. Evan, he raced a couple of years back, took a break, and making a little guest appearance here tonight. Evan is a Kentuckian, and his work schedule just kind of keeps him off. That is the hard thing about this sport, is it not, Arron? Trying to balance that work-life schedule.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, I've missed a couple of races that I wish I could make, but especially some recent ones over the summer. Could make some in other leagues, but definitely just finding the time to come out here and race and have a good time and just have some fun, slip and slide around your buddies, and maybe have a good race and maybe try and beat one and brag about it if you beat them.
There you go, 29:03. Not a bad effort there by Evan. That's going to put him second on the board currently. Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier, Arron, trying to figure out what is the fastest lap. Is it going to be lap 1? Is it going to be lap 2? And also, what line are you going to try to run? I didn't take any practice laps, Arron. You did. Share with us at home exactly what the guys are thinking here, especially for this quali lap.
Yeah, I ran a few laps myself here right before we came on air. I was liking the top lane in 3 and 4 there. Typically the bottom's was a little bit better, but also the track has changed during that practice as now we have going farther into that. As you saw, Jordan Fisher, he just ran the bottom there with a 28.769, put it right to the top of the board on his first lap. And that's what I kind of see to notice. The first lap seemed to be a little bit quicker. Lap 2 seemed to be just a little bit tighter. The tires kind of gave out on that second lap. We'll see if Jordan Fisher can prove me wrong here and pick up here on lap number 2, but I think that bottom's starting to come in a little bit better now, but he's going to run a little bit higher here through 3 and 4, going to try and get that arc off the corner. But Jordan Fisher looking strong. He actually did go faster than me on the fastest lap I could got, and he rated 28.871 there on lap number 2, so that first lap is faster from Jordan Fisher. So it looks like first lap probably going to be the way to go.
Really makes me think about what you said earlier in the broadcast, talking about how long the tires are going to last and the guys don't want to just burn them up. That immediately, we could see the breakdown of those tires, a tenth of a second, 15th of a hundredth of a second in one lap. So that lets you know, if you start doing that side-by-side racing, if you start cutting down and making any unnecessary windshield wiper motions with that wheel, I think that degradation of the tire, that breakdown, really going to affect you in a run. And especially what you said earlier about staying out of the pits. If you're trying to push that tire run as far as you can and you're driving like a maniac at the beginning, well, I think things could get interesting about 15 laps into a tire run.
Yeah, especially you're going to be really struggling with that grip. You're going to be really sliding up. It kind of seems to be a four-wheel slide right up into the wall. You want to keep it out of the wall. You don't want to get tight. If you're getting tight here, you're going to be slow. You got to really back up your corners if you're getting really tight so you don't hit the wall. And you're going to back up even a second, 2 seconds, maybe even 3 second fall off if you really hurt your tires really bad. And you'll be in an all-world hurt really later in that run. So these drivers, you're going to want to see them. They're going to want to back it off a little bit here in the early part. Just take their time a little bit. Don't want to slide those tires. Don't want to be too aggressive. You can't be aggressive on that throttle. Even if it seems like, especially 1 and 2, almost wide open, a lot of throttle in 1 and 2, but you got to be patient with yourself. You can't force that throttle. If you force the throttle, get a little bit too aggressive on it, you're really going to put that hurt into that right front tire, and it's going to get really, really damaged, and you're going to be struggling with tightness all night long.
Oh, I can't wait to see what happens, especially a few laps into this race. We got a few guys, they weren't in the Navy, but they sure are submariners, if you know what I'm saying. And they're going to love to take it down to that apron, try to make that pass. And unless you're awful close going into the turn, like right in that stream of that car in front of you, that outside lane is just going to have that momentum, and it's going to be really tough to make a pass. We might, and then you're just stuck down there on the bottom, and you could lose more than one position. And again, that aero package, I hate bringing that up repeatedly, but that just makes it so hard to pass, especially if you're on a longer tire run. That air package is just so tough with that dirty air.
Yeah, it really is. You gotta really be careful. It seems like about 3 or 4 tenths. You just can't break that gap in that dirty air. You gotta wait for the guy to make a mistake in front of you. You have to really have a lot better tires, trying to search around for the clean air. It's really, really tough to kind of break within that 4/10 barrier. And so we're gonna see those drivers really start to struggle with that today. But we'll see. Track position gonna be a key important just because of that. And that means Jordan Fisher on the pole, looking very strong. And it's about time. Let's take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's race.
Looks like Jordan Fisher is going to be on there. This could be the Jordan Fisher that got second place back in the opener at Charlotte. Next to him, Eric Thornton. Last week got a podium. This week wants to improve. Evan Stewart, welcome back. The 37 car going to be on the inside of the second row. There's Joe Volpus. He's going to be your fourth place starter. Tony Iverson, Mr. Highside Hustler himself, going to start in fifth on the inside. Outside of him, Nick Mazza. Great qualifying effort there by the number 3 car. Kevin Kyle's going to lead it off in number 7 spot on the inside lane. And Jonathan Quesabir in that 73 Pepsi car going to be on the 8th place. 9th place is Alex Hillman, the DDI driver in that VRN car. And 10th place, last week's winner, Matt Novella, will be starting on the outside of row 5.
Jay Stenson, he'll roll off in that 11th spot in that 60 machine in kind of a similar car to Kevin Kyle we just saw, but with a different sponsor of that quarter panel. Jack Sanders, he'll start 12th in that 25 machine. Starting 13th will be that 946 Eric Gambrill. Colin Bollinger will start 14th. He was really fast in practice, not the qualifying he owed, and he'll just got to work through his way through the pack. He'll start 14th tonight. Starting 15th will be that 54 Jose Medina, and the 5 of Brandon Finley will start alongside him. That 5 Cookout machine there in 16th. Starting 17th will be the 88 of Steve Lewis. 18th will be the 2 machine of Robert Babcock, and 19th will be Jax Duvall, and rounding out the top 20 will be John Beverly, and 21st will be Zach Clausen at 43, Michael Benton 22nd, 23rd will be Matt Tucker, 24th Andrew Bolander, 25th Player Saunders, Ricky Mendelacino will start 26th, and right here 27 car field tonight, Hunter Hall, and actually 28th will be Brandon Garand, and I believe that's the end of the field, and we're getting ready to go racing.
Top 22 qualified. The rest chose to start in the back. 39 got the lead, going to bring it down on the inside, waiting for the green flag to come out and wave them to begin here at Darlington. 130 laps of battle in our future. Can't wait to see. And away we go. Jordan Fisher going to lead him into turn number 1. He's on the inside in that number 39. Outside is Eric Thornton. Thornton off to a little slower start, and then you can see single file 5 deep immediately. Fisher with an early lead, taking him down onto that backstretch. A little bit of wall touching back. And look at this, Aaron. Look how quickly we've gone single file and spread out.
Yeah, you don't want to be side by side, especially off turn 2. That can cost you a lot of time. Any slip up could end up making a little bit of contact, put you in the wall. So these drivers quickly to get single file. There's someone to get in an incident early on. We do have a few side by side towards the very back. Zach Clausen trying to make that inside lane work a little bit. But he's going to quickly slot back in line in turn 1. And look at that, we're already single file through the whole field. We're going to go sideways through turn 1 and 2.
Is that the 5? No, that's Louis. Come on, Louis, straighten it out, buddy.
He saved him on the 57 right behind him. Looking like he's going to get the wall. Garand at the wall. He'll save it, though. Might have a little bit of right front damage, but everyone able to save it. We stay clean for now. Looks like Vulpes maybe try to look the inside here on Iverson, but if he slot back in, he'll think better of it.
Yeah, Tony Iverson, he's known for riding that apron. He's going to be a tough pass any way you look at it, but that gap that's in front of Iverson in 4th right now, trying to chase down Stewart. Anytime there's a gap in the car in front of you, you got to think, I got to get by that guy, especially with that field right behind you, going to pack it up. Look at those fellas battling as well. You can see Stewart Thornton going at it. Jordan Fisher, though, got to be happy with this start that he's got, already out to a nice little lead.
7/10 lead over Eric Thornton right now. He's got that clean air, and that's such a big advantage. You don't have to worry about the cars in front of you giving dirty air, taking your line away. So he's just got that clean air, that big advantage out in front. It's working well for him right now. He's out to an 8/10 lead, almost a second now. But so far, he's out front, looking clean so far. Everyone else starting to spread out throughout that top 5. Oh, and a car around. Hillman's going to run off 4.
The DDI driver into the infield barrier, not good. Waiting to see if a caution. He's off the apron. No caution as of yet. Come on, you know what to do. You got to get it up on the apron, and then they'll call the caution.
He's going to get it back on the track. He'll get it back rolling straight, so no yellow for that one. Let's take a quick look at what happened there. It looks like he's just coming off right off turn 4. It looked like he was on the outside. There's a caution, though. We do have a caution now. As soon as we went back and looked at this one, let's take a look at this one real quick. Looks like a little bit off the wall. Looks like, I believe that Novella got into him there on the inside. That spun him around. We do have a yellow. It looks like Zach Lawson going around as he was slow on the apron there off turn number 2. Let's take another look at that one.
Yeah, I remember Clausen. He ran so good last week, the rookie in that 43 SDP car.
Oh,
why are you down there, buddy?
Sliding up the racetrack, spinning it. He was just on the racetrack, and that brings out the caution, so all by himself there. Looks like he kind of lost it here in the middle 1 and 2. Looks pretty slow off turn 4. He had Hillman spinning to the bottom there. He's side by side in the turn number 1. As Saunders gets by him, they'll single file it out. So let's see. Oh, it looks like he got loose right in the center. Maybe smashed the gas a little bit into the center of the corner, got loose. It looks like he tried to save it and lost it, overcorrected it back up the racetrack, lost it, tried to save it again, and just spun it just on the racing line, and that bring out the yellow. So that cost me our first caution of the night.
That's exactly what you were talking about also, was that rear coming around on you, and that's what we saw Clausen. It looks like he wasn't lined up the way he wanted to be, and then he might have jerked the wheel just a little bit, and that you cannot do that, especially here. And as you were concerned about in the pre-race, that right side just kind of came right around on him.
Yeah, these cars get very tail happy, especially on high speeds like that, especially when you're so, just on edge in turn 1 and 2. You always are on edge here in Darlington and just 1 and 2, and just to begin with. So it's just these cars just hate being on edge. They like to slip and slide around, and especially right in the center 1 and 2 there, especially on early kind of in the run, mash the gas a little bit too much, get a little bit too aggressive on the wheel input as well. It can really just bring that back and around. Later in the race, once those tires start to wear off a little bit, it could get, if you try to mash the gas, you'll just go straight into the outside wall. So that tire didn't look so good, but it looked like maybe he overheated the right rear earlier, and it kind of aggravated that rear end, and then just went around and then off at turn number 2.
It looks like 6 cars taking the opportunity to come into the pit, and some extended pit stays as well. The 84 Jax Duval was down there for 42 seconds. Brandon Guerin in the 57, 32 seconds. Clausen still making repair. So maybe there was some wall banging that we really weren't aware of. Those cars staying on that lead lap, but coming down. Here comes Andrew Bolander in the 24. Going to take a second visit down there. And there must have been some little banging, little Darlington stripe action going on.
A little bit of contact. As you see, Clausen, he does have some front end damage, and when he spun there, it looked like he didn't get any contact. So he does have damage from somewhere else. So someone had a little bit of contact earlier. So some of these drivers just coming down, fixing their damage, topping off on fuel. So we'll see kind of how that plays out. But it looks like Bolander looks pretty clean right now. He got that car nice and looking nice and clean, nice and new there. That 24 machine.
Yeah, Bolander, of course, he is our points leader at the moment. Remember, he did win at Kansas, so he has already punched his way in the playoffs. So, hey, let's get some extra points. It's like icing on the cake for that number 2014. Pace car is off. Jordan Fisher on the inside. The 39 is going to be our lead car. Waiting to see what he does. He's going to come into the restart zone. Flagman is watching them closely, and away we go. Good jump there. He's going to bring the third place car of Stewart with him. They're going to go single file, push Thornton back into third, then side by side with Volpus and Iverson, going to bring him around 1 and 2.
Yeah, side by side, this could get a little bit dangerous now. If you get really tight off turn 2, they could make a little bit of contact. They're going to stay side by side. Lost them a little bit of time, though. And Iverson, he's going to get clear, looks like. But right behind him, you got that 29 machine. Kevin Kyle trying to work the outside of the 3 of Mazda. And now he's trying to look to the inside here through 3 and 4. Maybe try to stick that nose in there. Could be a little bit dangerous, but he's going to hold on to it. Everyone single files it out for now.
That side-by-side cost those guys such track position. Almost 5 car lengths now in between Iverson and Thornton because of him and Volpus Racing side-by-side. Behind them, a little bit more side-by-side, cost a few more positions. But now we're single file again, everybody making the moves. Question is, how good of a pull can you get? Kevin Kyle's the next guy going to dive it down on the apron.
He's going to drive it in deep into 3 and 4. This is a very tough move on the inside. The outside gets the better run off of turn 4. We'll see down the front straightaway here. Kyle on the bottom. We'll see how deep does he send it here into turn number 1. It's going to be a little bit dangerous. He's going to drive it in deep, put it under the apron. Going to try and get the run through the center of the corner. He's got the shorter distance, but he's not going to have the turn down the exit. Oh, almost slots right in front of the 3 there. He'll slot up a little bit of wiggling there, but he'll slot up in front, and Kevin Kyle will take that 6th place spot. Right behind him, though, got a case of beer and Bollinger also having a little bit of battle. They're side by side off 4.
Yeah, I think what happened for Kyle, he got a little push from the silver 73, a case of beer, and I think that's what got him by, or he'd have been in trouble. Now the 53 of Bollinger, the Dr. Pepper machine, trying to look under case of beer, but he doesn't have any help. He better get that thing moving, or else he could lose a lot of positions. And look, he can slide up. Boy, this little train right here is going against what we thought, but it's still early in the run, and you got to worry about them tires.
Here comes Matt Tucker. He's going to drive it into 3. He's going to try and pull the slider into turn 3. He'll slide up right in front of that 54 Jose Medina. Good move there. And now Medina under attack from our last week winner of Matt Novella. But Novella, he'll slot back in line. He'll think better of it. But right behind them, you got Brandon Finley looking to the inside.
Yeah, you got the 5 back there with him, Blair Sanders, the 2 of Babcock, all kinds of action in that little bitty group. Makes you wonder who's the one holding this lineup. Wall contact. You can see Grambrel and the 5 car as well. Little bit of a gap there. They got to tighten this thing up.
Mandela, he'll slide it in, pull the slider. Let's see if the 5 machine of Finley, he'll do the crossover off of 4. He's not going to be able to do it, but meanwhile, back up in front of them, Bollinger looks to the inside of that 3 machine of Mazda. He'll clear up into turn number 1, and he'll take that spot away.
Yeah, a little bit of another car kind of slid coming out of that turn off of my off the camera. I hope he kept that thing straight. Side by side here, though, you can see the 37 and the 13. That's Stewart. Welcome back to the league. And he's battling Tony Iverson, trying to sneak by him. That's the battle for 3rd and 4th. And then finally going to fall right back in the line. Look at him spreading out now.
And this top 5 really broke away from the rest of the field. They have about a half a second gap back to Kevin Kyle, which is trying to pull everybody out of caution back onto the racetrack. Looks like he links Eric Gambrel off of turn number 4, the 25 there. Jack Sanders going around off of turn number 4. So another one of those green and black machines going around there.
Colonel Sanders, he is our Season 2 champion of Monday Night Mayhem. Right now, you can see caught up in that. He's right behind the 24. Got the 54 of Medina behind him. So that... Oh, there we go. Oh!
Hard on the inside
Arron,
wall, but that was 2 separate incidents. Sanders went around, but up in front of him, Gambrel actually went around, and I think that's what brought out the yellow. Gambrel went around first, and he was on the racetrack. Looks like Sanders, he was on the inside. So he was on that inside wall, kind of similar to Hillman, earlier in the race. So look, I think Gambrel kind of went around off of turn 4, kind of similar fashion, and yeah, it was. And he spun it back up the racetrack, trying to keep it off the inside wall. He locked it down, and that's what brought out the yellow there.
Oh, and then he brought it on and quickly got out of the way. Don't run it back up on the track, boys and girls. Lock it down and bring it back down onto the apron. So 2 separate incidents. I think you're right. The 946, no contact for Gambrel. So he's going to be rolling that Ally Chevrolet with no problem. Colonel Sanders, on the other hand, though, oh man, he dealt up a 3-piece to himself on that infield wall.
Yeah, he's definitely damaged there. A lot of front end damage. Oh, he's gonna miss pit road entry as well. He got it in there. He got a turn at the last second, but that definitely he almost hit those barrels. Yeah, he almost hit those barrels. You know, a lot of the left front damage there, so wouldn't be shocked if he's got some wheel damage there. That's definitely gonna hurt him a lot. If you get any wheel damage there, you're gonna be even more hurt already. That just make it really tight already.
Top 18 car is going to stay on the track right now. Duval's still rolling with him. He pitted back on lap 6 for some extended care down in there. After that, you can see some cars. Heck, Andrew Bolander's been down there 3 times. Brandon Guerin, that's his second visit. And we're going to keep an eye on Sanders. I just don't know what is going to happen to the number 25 machine there. And that looked like it could be race ending, especially in these next-gen cars.
Yeah, he looks all right. It didn't break that toe link, so he should be okay there. Well, maybe if he got a little bit of wheel damage, it's definitely going to be an extended repair down there. It looks like that's what it is. He's been sitting in there for at least 33 seconds, 34 seconds now, about 40 seconds. So he's trying to fix that left front tire. Could definitely got knocked out of whack a little bit, but that left front damage seems also a little bit a problem as well. If you have any front end damage, it also makes your car really tight. So any front end damage, any wheel damage, you're just going to make your the already tight race car even tighter, and you're going to be struggling with that wheel damage. So he's going to try and get it fixed. He actually just did go 1 lap down, so he's still in pit road. He's trying to get that left front fixed, but he's got to get going quick before he goes another lap down and before they go back green.
Yep, and look behind him. You can see Bolander as well took that opportunity to come down again. I think Bolander, though, with those pit times, he must have had a little bit of contact early, but now I think he's just doing it for fuel purposes. Also, looks like the 88 of Steve Lewis. He's back on the track, but he also is being shown a lap down now.
He's 2 laps down, Steve Lewis right now, but he's not too far. Only 3 cars, only 1 car, 2 cars 1 lap down. That's Sanders, and he's in pit road still. So he might be able to get the lucky free pass, but here comes Sanders. He'll come off pit road. He's got to catch the field as best as possible, but we're about to go back green flag racing, and Fisher taking the high lane here on this restart.
Yeah, it's time to start going up higher on the track later here in the run. Being on lap number 16 now, the 37, going to bring him into the restart zone. And away we go. Gets a pretty good jump. He's going to bring Stewart with him. Thornton down on the inside quickly falls single file into 3rd place. Fisher, Stewart, Thornton coming out of the turn number 2 onto the backstretch. Looks like Vulpes, Iverson, Kyle as well in the mix. Little bit of wall touching by Jose Medina.
Got on the wall a little bit, but hold on to it. And that 60 machine is Stenson. Stenson's going to go up the racetrack a little bit. He's going to try and hold that outside. Going to try and get to the outside of a case of beer. He's going to be able to do it side by side still with that Tucker on the inside. And Case Beer looked to the inside of Mazda, but not going to be able to do it. But they'll still be side by side with Stenson and Tucker.
And look how quickly they fall behind the 73, a case of beer with Tucker and Stinson side by side. And that's going to let the cars behind them tighten up the field. Boy, a lot of Darlington stripes being handed out here early on lap number 20.
Yeah, and already the famous Darlington stripe, you can see a lot of these right side of the race cars already getting scraped up. And these drivers going to want to save it. Oh, but one car there on the bottom, that's Sanders. So he could just win a 2nd lap down. That's going to help Steve Lewis. We get another caution. He'll be able to get the free pass and get back on that. Get back to 1 lap down. So that's going to help him out just a few seconds as Lewis will take that spot away. But get a few drivers up in front. A few car lengths separated here. 1/10, only 2/10 here for Vulpes. He's trying to shape up that back bumper to Kevin Kyle right now.
Yeah, Kyle got by Vulpes earlier, so we're going to see if Vulpes can get that spot back. Vulpes needs to make a move quick because he's got that Dr. Pepper machine right behind him. And Colin, the 53, that's a guy we saw use that apron and come right back up with a heavy slide job. So if he gets any kind of help, yeah, right behind him too. It is amazing how quickly these guys are falling into those groups. That's what I love about a track like Darlington, Arron. Super speedways like last week, everybody's together, 25-car group. Here, skill starts to come to the top, and you can really see the driving ability of these individuals.
And you also got to be timely with your passes. You got to get them done quick because, as we already mentioned, as we see in narrow 1 and 2, just having the lift staying side by side can cost you so much time and losing a lot of time. As Case Beer, he thought about looking at it, but he backed out of it. Couldn't get the move done on Mazda there in 1 and 2, so he's just kind of taking his time here to try and find his way around on the outside, maybe here in 3 and 4. We'll see if he gets that nose on the outside. outside of that 3 machine, as he does not, but now Vulpes, he's under attack.
Bollinger now, and look, Bollinger's got that advantageous outside line, and he's going to power it around Vulpes. Discretion is the better part of valor. Falls into line before that second group catches up. And that second group, Maz's in the lead. Case of Beer better make a good decision back there, because he was running side by side with Jay Stinson, and it took a little bit of rubbing for him to get by that number 60 machine. So Stinson, if he gets a shot, I would not be surprised for him to go ahead and rub Case of Beer just to, make it even.
Yeah, he might, but Stenson, he's got Tucker all over his back bumper there in 3 and 4. They'll back it off a little bit with that dirty air, the high speed of 1 and 2. But now Case Beer, he's got the grip to the inside, tries to shove the nose in there. It does make it work. But now Vulpes is going to make an attack on Kevin Kyle just up in front of him. They'll go to the inside. That inside is going to be a lot tougher. You're going to maybe try to pull the slider. He's going to gas it up to the center. Could get tight. He's going to slide up the racetrack right in front of Kyle. We'll see if Kyle tries to make that move back, but not going to be able to do it. But meanwhile, just up in third, Eric Thornton going for second.
Eric Thornton dives it down. He's usually a high side hustler, but this time he used the apron to get by. Great move there by Thornton. Vulpes with a great pass as well. But look at Thornton pull away now. Oh, he must have found something.
It looked like Iverson got to the inside of Stort there, and that checked them up both, as Iverson had to go all over the apron off the exit of 2 to clear that 37 of Stort. He was able to get it done. Vulpes really big loose right behind him. That could allow Kevin Kyle back to his outside here into turn number 1.
Kevin Kyle going to use that outside lane, get that momentum. But once again, Vulpes making that middle inside work. Vulpes has got that car dialed in, especially this late in the run. 27 laps, and Vulpes looks good using that middle inside lane.
Yeah, it looks like it looks a little bit better. He seems to be a little bit looser compared to everybody else right now. Here comes Bowser. He's going to go to the inside of Kevin Kyle. He's going to use him up a little bit, make a little bit of contact in the center of 3 and 4. They're going to make contact, continue to make contact off turn 4. They're still side by side down the front straightaway. Mazda's going to lose that spot as the outside gets the advantage, but now Case Beer to the outside.
Wow, just like that, you can see that.
Oh,
he's sideways.
Case Beer into the outside wall, and that's going to be a lot of damage. Don't slide back down. Everyone's going to try and keep back going. Get back around him. He will. A little bit of damage to that 73 machine, but it looks like he made a little bit of contact, and that's how the narrow line of 1 and 2 ends up being detrimental, and they made contact, and Case Beer goes around.
Oh, the taste of a new generation right there, Pepsi. And he ended up being the loser of the Cola Wars. As you can see, he slid right back down. Good job, though, Kate, staying in place. Nobody T-boned him, and he gets that 73 machine rolling again. I was staring intently, Aaron. I was ready for that T-bone to materialize.
Yeah, I thought someone was definitely going to come fly in there. We saw that last week. We saw that last week at Echo Park, the 911 getting flying in there right after one of the big ones last week. I didn't call him 911, but he went to the pits and he was done for the night after that one. But luckily, no one hit him. But it looks like the 3 of Mazda just got up a little bit too deep into turn number 1, and Case Beer ended up knocked Case Beer sideways. Case Beer right back to the outside wall, and he's able to keep it. Locked it down there right on that apron transition where it transitions kind of to the flatter part of the racetrack. He's able to get it out of the way, but a little bit of right front damage. He'll come again. Oh, never mind. He's going to have contact on pit entry.
No, what are we doing down there, boys?
Looks like he had a little bit of contact on pit entry. Let's take another look at that one. So that's a worse right there for Case of Beer.
You didn't get Louis, did you?
69. He had the 69 right out in front of him. It looked like he just locked up, spun it out.
Oh, he's back. That's the same spot. He must like that spot.
He must just get it on that transition from the apron to the banking. But luckily, no extra damage. But able to get that fixed is you'll sit in pit road for a little bit extra time compared to everybody else. But everyone coming out pit road, that's actually not everybody. The top 7 staying out. So now with that long run of those tires a little bit, we'll start to see some of these drivers on the fresh tires. They're going to move up a little bit. We do have a few drivers taking fuel. Only Gambrel and Medina. Vulpes, you sacrifice that top 5. They'll restart back in 10th here. We'll have 4 freshies.
They got 4 sets of tires, 1 in the car, 3 in the pit. Why not use one right now, especially considering that you might only be coming in, 2 more times for the rest of this race, 130 laps minus the 30. So it looks like you're still going to have to come in 2 more times before we call this thing. And dirty air is such a factor. I don't blame the top 3, top 4 guys for staying out. But then after that, it really gets touch and go.
Yeah, for sure. We see a few drivers taking fuel. Only Gambriel Medina didn't take tires. And as you mentioned, about 2 stops, but 100 to go. Our fuel was looking anywhere for about 46 to 50 laps. If you're not shifting, staying in that 5th gear, that's also some of the problem as well. If some of these drivers, they stay in 5th gear a little bit in 3 and 4, don't shift so often in 3 and 4, because that's where you want to shift down to 4th gear. But if you stay in 5th gear, take your time a little bit, save a little bit of fuel, back up the corners a little bit more, maybe lift a little bit early, brake a little bit later. You can save those fuel a little bit, and that could maybe stretch it. So we could see a 1 stop, but so far it's been a few cautions, so don't know if we can go green at the end and maybe make that a 1-stop race. But we still can see definitely a lot of different tire strategies here. We'll see how well those 4 tires work out for him. He'll start back in the middle of the pack here, back in 10th. So that 11 machine is going to be one to watch on this restart.
I also want to keep an eye on Gambriel and Medina as they find themselves up in the front of the cars that did not pit. And then a little bit deeper, how about Andrew Bolander in 15th? Can't wait to see what's going to happen to that guy, considering he's in the middle of this mess. Okay, get back in line, Medina. Here we go. All right, let's keep an eye. Fisher, outside lane. And away we go.
Oh,
Fisher
hard to the wall in the back. The 3, Mazza.
What are they doing?
Mazza hard on the wall. Heavy damage to that right front. He's going to keep it clean. It looks like we stay green as they sorted out quickly for that top 5. But
Mazza just pitted, too, and he had an extended pit stop, 55-second. Wonder what happened there.
Yeah,
there's Gambriel. There's a little bit of gap. He's got Babcock and Medina behind him. Gambriel needs to tighten that thing up. Remember, Gambriel was one of those cars that said, I'll just take gas and save those tires. With the dirty air, it seemed like a good idea, but now look at the gap, and already you can see Babcock peeking his nose. That's Babcock in that black number 2 Target Toyota looking below, but Gambriel got her back on the straight and narrow.
He's trying to take that spot back as Babcock, one of those drivers who stayed out, but here comes Valpus. He thought about looking to the inside of Medina there, trying to take that spot away. We didn't see any 2-tire strategy calls there. We could see that later in the race. 2 tires can be a little bit quicker, but so far these drivers on the tires not quick on this restart. Kevin Kyle, though, he's under attack from as they both took tires of Matt Tucker. Tucker's going right around the outside. Finley's going to follow on through, so Kevin Kyle on the bottom in 1 and 2, looking like he's a little bit slower. He's going to lose 2 spots through 1 and 2, but Finley hard to the outside wall. They make contact hard to the inside wall. Finley blows its engine. Hard impact for that 5 machine.
Number 5 says, I'm going to wreck, and 29, you're coming with me. The DX driver, 29, Kevin Kyle, into the wall as well. Calamity here on lap number 29. 35.
Yeah, these drivers,
wow, that just looked painful.
Yeah, hard wreck there. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this one here off of turn number 2. Finley got up into the outside wall, side by side off turn 2, got tight, collected that 29, hard to the inside wall for both those drivers. Finley's definitely gonna be done for the night after that one, but that's gonna be tough, and I think that's gonna be the end of it for those 2. Kevin Cobb might be able to come fix that. It looks like my replay is not one to be cooperative right now. So we're gonna take a quick step away really quickly. I'm gonna quickly reboot this, and we'll be right back.
Oh my, what a restart. Eric Gambrell stayed out, got a great start. Babcock in second. Vulpes goes side by side. They follow each other for a lap. Vulpes gets loose, goes into the infield wall. No caution. We're continuing under green. And right now, Eric Gambrell, the rookie, first race, hit it back on lap 16, did not take tires. He's got an 8-car lead over Babcock, Tucker, Jay Stinson, and now Florida man Jax Duvall has made his way into the top 5 as well.
He's working back up and trying to get to that top 5, and now Tucker, he's going to look to the inside of Babcock for that second spot. He'll think better of it. Get those graphics working back up for you in just a few seconds, but so far that second place battle heating up as Babcock trying to hold on for a second, gets really loose off of turn number 2.
Matt Tucker says, I'll drive a hole straight through you, Rooster, if you don't get out of my way. Tucker 3,000 on the outside, gonna have momentum. Babcock trying to hold on. Jay Stinson now looking to the outside of Babcock, and here's our caution. Boy, Gambrell cannot be happy. That was such a perfect picture for the 946 Chevrolet driver. He had that thing in first, had the clean air on the old tires. Man, I'll tell you what, you got to be kicking yourself. Things are going to happen, but boy, things were lining up for the rookie right there, Aaron.
Yeah, it was working well for Gambrell. He pitted that last yellow and stayed out this one, got that advantage, and now he got that race lead. Now he's gonna be back behind the pace car. He's gonna have to get another good restart and try and get back rolling. But now we'll see Babcock. He looks like he's gonna come down pit road here from that second place spot. So he'll take that 2 machine back down pit road.
That's his first pit stop right there. So he was due to finally come down. Babcock, he'd been pushing it about as far as you could. Lap 41, we were really close for tires. For fuel for Babcock as well. Looks like Colin Bollinger, Kevin Kyle going to bring it down, Hunter Hall. Oh, business is picking up down here in pit road.
Yeah, a few drivers coming down pit road, and
not Gambrell though.
Not Gambrell, he'll stay out of the racetrack. That 23, Sanders, it looks like he got a little bit more front end damage. We saw him a few cautions ago get a little bit of damage. It looks a little bit more it looks like they got a fresh paint job on that front left front, but it looks like that front bumper looks like he's got a little bit more damage to it now. But he's trying to fix it, get back going. But it looks like Babcock, he'll take 4 tires, he'll restart mired back in the pack. But that's what seems to happen. Gambrell, he stayed out, and that allowed him to he stayed out at that last caution. That allowed him to get that lead back. But Matt Tucker, he's sitting there in second. He came down last caution, 4 tires. He's 12 laps ago, so. I think actually my stints are probably messed up a little bit since I had to reboot everything. But we're getting back underway here. So but Finley crashed so hard it looked like it knocked the few wires loose in the TV compound.
It was a straight earthquake. Finley hit that thing so hard, everything rattled here. I think I saw filling fall out of the guy in the front row, his mouth after he hit that thing. Took Kevin Kyle with him as well. The 5 has parked it, by the way. We have officially lost the 5. Jack Sanders still rolling, though. So one car has called it a day. Sanders, though, he needs about 2 more laps to get past Finley, and he's 11 laps down right now, so tough day for him. What is the spinning? There's a lot of spinning going on.
Yeah, we're trying to find out that caution. Oh, Case of Beer goes around again, so I was trying to find what that caution was there. Looks like Case of Beer went around. They had one other driver. They had that white car going around up in turn number 3 there, and a few drivers had to take evasive action. Oh, it looks like Case of Beer went around trying to avoid it, but trying to find who it was. But we'll get a name on that real quick. But we're about to go back for Ian Gambrell. He's gonna go back from the race lead on that front row. We'll see if he can get that about a second lead like he had earlier. We'll have Nat Tucker to this outside. Oh, that's Jay Stinson and Jax Duvall. And Jordan Fish will run out of the top 5 here.
46 on the inside, gonna be your control car. He benefited from Vulpes racing side by side before. This time, let's see if he can get that same advantage on the inside. Waiting for him going into the restart zone, and away we go. Gambrell off to a good lead. Immediately, Tucker going to fall in behind him. Both of them take that high line, get that great angle going into turn 2. Jay Stinson in third, and then side by side, Fisher and Duvall behind them going into backstretch.
Fisher trying to get back up to that race lead. He'll slide up in front of Duvall. A little bit of contact there, maybe with Blair Sanders, and that double vent 98 machine working the bottom come try to get the inside of Duval. Wasn't able to do it. Alex Hillman, he went around early in this one, and now he's trying to get back into the top 5. But Gabriel a little bit slideways through third number 4. He's going to lose the spot to all the way back outside the top 5. And now here comes Jordan Fisher to the race lead.
Fisher on the inside of Tucker. Tucker not going to give it up easy, though. You can see he's on that high line, riding the rail. Going to hit the wall side by side, going down the stretch.
Still side by side for lead down the back straightaway. What does Jay Stinson do? Does he send it in 3? He's going to wait behind. He's going to be smart. Going to try and wait for one of them to clear each other. Fisher's going to go through 3 and 4, use the bottom of the racetrack. He'll slide up for that race lead. Fisher back to the lead. Tucker and Stinson side by side for second now, down the front straightaway. And to 1, this could get ugly again.
In 4th place, Jax Duval. We haven't called Florida man's name all day long, and here he comes. He of the front bumper, Jax Duval, now into the top 5, running in 4th. Jay Stinson missed last week. He ain't missing nothing this week. And here goes the 98 of Blair Saunders looking below Duval. They're going to be side by side.
Side by side through 3 and 4. Duval ripping the outside wall there, trying to get that run off of turn number 4. He does. Saunders will fall back in line, just barely, almost clipped him, almost hooked that Duval machine around, but he able to hold on to it. And now they back up through Dirty Air in 1 and 2. But here comes Saunders. He's going to try and get that run off of 2, and maybe mount another attack into 3. He's got a good run, but here comes Iverson. He says no. He's going to try and take that to the bottom. He doesn't have enough space there. Doesn't get to the bottom.
Really good driving right there by Iverson to recognize he did not have the momentum needed to go down on the bottom, especially with Hillman directly behind him. That's how you lose position, and the 13 driver not making that rookie mistake. Look at all this single file down the backstretch, and now Babcock going to look below Kevin Kyle. These two going to be side by side. Quickly, Babcock falls back into line.
Yeah, Babcock, he had to come down and take fuel. He was running low on it. He stayed out the whole race, and now look at this. He's mired back in traffic, back in 15. He's really struggling with Dirty Air now. He can't find his way by any of these drivers towards the back. He's trying to find his way by Kevin Kyle there in turn 1. Wasn't able to get alongside enough to really make any good move into 1. He tried to drive that in there. That would have ended in disaster. If you saw Kevin Kyle, he went around with that 5 machine of Brandon Finley earlier, and that ended in the really nasty, and Brandon Finley ended up out of this one. So he don't want that to happen.
I'll tell you what the number 2 is telling me right now, Aaron, and that is that new tires don't defeat Dirty Air, because Babcock took tires on that pit stop, and he can't do anything with those cars in front of him right now. Those cars they took tires on 35, maybe a little bit later it'll come into effect, but right now it looks like the Dirty Air easily defeats tires. Neat how these cars are starting to get into groups right there. Look at Thornton and Hillman battling ahead of them. Ooh, little wall touch as Mazda looking to get by right there.
There's a 13 Iverson. He's going to drive it into the inside of Saunders. And Saunders got the wall off of turn 2 as well. So they're side by side through two different packs. As now Iverson will take that spot, but here comes Bollinger. He's trying to get that spot away from Stewart, and that's right behind them though. Matt Novello, last week's winner. He's trying to find his way through as well, but he'll slot behind that 37 of Evan Stewart, as now Bollinger, he'll take that spot away.
Tell you what, Evan Stewart, you might have been gone a couple of years, but this league has done nothing but get faster. And right now he's behind last year's season champion, the 53 Dr. Pepper Toyota of Colin Bollinger. He's going to need to get a lot closer if he's going to do something. And he's got Matt Novello, who's full of confidence and passion right now behind him. Boy, he's in a victorious sandwich.
Yeah, last week, Novello was able to take that win. In his interview, he was saying he wanted to come back and win, but Hillman hard on the inside wall once again, and a similar incident to Finley.
Ooh,
they were side by side off turn 2, and Hillman goes around, hard hit, and that left front is destroyed.
Yeah, that don't look good for the DDI 08 driver of Alex Hillman. Cannot be happy that Chevrolet struggling as he's trying to get her back into the pits. Look at this replay.
Yeah, that one, he's going to be done for the night after that one. That left front toe link is destroyed. Thornton was right behind him looking for this spot. He was looking down to the bottom here, shoved his nose off the exit, got a really good rotation through the exit, and it came up slid up tight and tagged the 08 hard on the inside wall, just like Finley just a few laps ago.
Woo! Man, where was that driving last week, Eric? Eric taking the podium last week, not getting the win. Looks like he's driving a little bit differently this week. You got to keep that thing buried. No room for error. As you can see, the 1 just kind of got into the 08, ending his day. Looks like we're still under green, though. These boys help. Ooh, Gambrel into the wall in the back.
Oh, Stewart really sliding through 3. Novello's going to take to the bottom. He's going to try and slide up off turn 4. He'll shut that door on Stewart off of turn 4. Stewart, he's got the run, though. He's not going to make it. Not enough to take a move into 1, but Novello will take that spot away. Stewart really sliding through 3.
Come on, Stewart, you got to get that thing going in the right direction because it doesn't get any easier. Who's behind him now? Kansas winner Andrew Bolander in the 24 Chevrolet. So you got to get this thing back on. And rhythm is such a big thing here, right, Arron? I mean, you have 1 or 2 bad turns. It might take you 4 or 5 laps to get back into rhythm, but you could lose 4 or 5 positions just that quick.
Especially momentum, very big factor here at Darlington. If you don't have the right momentum, especially coming off one corner, it's gonna make your run going in the next corner a little bit more difficult. You won't have that same reaction when you get off the throttle as you have less speed, so you'd be a little bit slower, and then you miss your turning point. So just Darlington, such a big momentum, especially 1 and 2. You have a narrow 1 lane pretty much. It's a little wide. You got 2-3 lanes in there, but it's so fast it pretty much narrows it down to 1 lane, kind of a diamond of a corner. Kind of becomes a double apex on a road course as well. You're gonna drive it in there, you slide up the racetrack to the outside wall, and then you cut it back down and drive it off turn number 2. If you have momentum, if your momentum's not there and you don't have that rolling, it could really throw you off, and you could miss a lot of time and lose a lot more time in 1 and 2 if you have that momentum off. And you gotta try to just build that back up.
Man, talking about momentum and dirty air, look at Jordan Fisher now, 2.3 seconds. Guys driving away from the field. That's that number 39 Ford. Got a 2.3 second lead over Matt Tucker. Chase Stinson, Duval 4th now, up 15 spots. Behind him, Tony Iverson. But what a ride by the 39. I was wondering, Arron, I asked you which Jordan Fisher was going to show up today. Boy, I guess he didn't like it when I said that. Woo!
Yeah, it looks like he went out there, took it, and put it back in the lead to 2.5 seconds. But Iverson, he saw the move on Duval into 3. He's going to try and take it away. Down to the 1. He'll slide it in deep. He'll clear for that 4th place spot. But now Bollinger trying to find his way through, trying to follow his way through. A little bit of contact. Duval's going to get the wall. He's going to come back down. And here comes Saunders to the outside. He's going to take a 2-for-1 special off of 2.
Well, it looked like Duval tried to block everybody. He went down to block Bollinger, and then when he saw Saunders on the outside, he brought it back up. Luckily, he conceded that position. But, boy, I tell you what, Duval was wider than 2 Ryan Newmans right there.
Yeah, he was trying to block all those lanes, and Saunders able to take a 2-for-1 combo off of turn number 2. We'll see if he parks it in Cookout as that Cookout Southern 500 wrapped up last night. We'll see if he parks it in Cookout and gets a combo tray after this one.
He ain't parking anything. Look at the 53 finally makes his way by the 84 of Duval. Colin Bollinger now going to take over the 6th position. Duval in 7th. He's in that white 84. Behind him now, here comes Matt Novella, last week's winner. This thing doesn't get any easier, Arron. These are big names up in the front. And I said it once, I'll say it again. That's what I love about this track, is you just see the veteran drivers up in the front every time. This ain't a super speedway, and so it's not a 27-car pack. This is the best of the best putting on a show for us tonight.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of battles here, especially right between these 4 drivers. They're two drivers side by side. Now Bollinger trying to look to the inside of Saunders as Novella tried to look to the inside of Duval into 3. But now Bollinger, he's going to drive it in deep all over the apron. He'll slide up in front of Saunders. He'll take that spot away. He'll go up to that top 5. And now they'll single file back out for the 5th on back here. As now Babcock, he's been working that back bumper of that one of Eric Thornton. And now he's going to be side by side in the 3.
Yeah, no love lost between these two. Babcock, he's part of that Sean Walton, Colin Bollinger team. High side hustler Eric Thornton right there. Those two teams, rivals, absolutely love seeing it when any of those drivers get together. Big question for me, though, is going to be, now that Bollinger is in that position into 5th, how long will it take him to close the gap on Iverson? It was 2.1 seconds 1 lap ago. It's 1.9 now, Arron.
Iverson, he had a little bit of long run pace. He was able to get up into 4th, get away a little bit from the rest of the battle. And now he's trying to chase down Jay Stinson. Jay Stinson, he's running down Matt Tucker. It's about 0.2 of a second. As I think maybe if Stinson, if he can get by Tucker here, wonder if he can try and start to claw that gap down a little bit for Jordan Fisher. Jordan Fisher, he is one of the only drivers in the 29-second bracket right now. He's running 28.98s. Bollinger's running 29.7s. So that's those two drivers, only drivers in the 29s. Iverson's in the 29s as well. Everyone else 30 seconds or worse. So these drivers, so right now Iverson and Bollinger seem to be the two pretty much faster than our race, about the same pace as our race leader. Everyone else is multiple tenths slower. So Fisher's just dominant out front right now. His gap to second now is about 3.5 seconds.
Kevin Kyle say, I'm going to get out of the way. I don't want anything to do with this. I'm running my race. You boys just go on by. Iverson there. Jack Sanders now falling into line behind the 13 of Iverson. Iverson trying to close that gap on Stinson, 0.4 of a second back. It does seem like the dirty air, such an effect. And now look at Duval here side by side with Novella, and the 56 going to slide up in front of the 84.
And that seems to be the move. Down on the 1, just driving in deep, try to slide job your way at through 1 and 2, and it seems to be working out. Now Duval is starting to fall back a little bit. Now Bolander's on that back bumper. He's been losing a little bit of seconds, a few seconds right after he went to Ryan Newman's there off at turn number 2. He started to lose some spots. He's starting to slide backwards a little bit now. Bolander right behind him, trying to take that spot away, and keep an eye on that 2 machine. Babcock. He took tires that last caution, had to came down. He's starting to work his way back up, breaks back into the top 10. He's trying to get back to that back one for Bolander and maybe try and get a few extra spots.
Now Duval under attack again. Look at Bolander diving below him. That's that number 24. This starts to make me wonder. You see the 24 take the position. Is Duval suffering from damage that he took earlier? Or is it that he took tires back on lap 29 and he's just surrounded with guys that have better tires? Babcock took him on 41. Bolander that just made that pass took him on 35. That's only 6 laps fresher tires, but we might be at that breakoff point right now.
Yeah, we're starting to see those drivers on the older tires really starting to struggle. Duval starting to fall back. But here comes Novella. He's starting to move up through the field now. He now gets by Saunders pretty easily there through 3 and 4. So he's one of the drivers starting to move up a little bit. Jordan Fisher, he's still out front dominating, but there's a few other drivers, if we get a caution, that could definitely go out there and challenge him. A lot of drivers, kind of similar lap times. As I mentioned, Iverson, Bollinger, and Novella, pretty close to lap times to Jordan Fisher, maybe about a half a tenth to a tenth slower. Everyone else about 2-3 tenths slower than those 3 guys. So we're starting to see 3 to 4 guys really starting to come alive here late in this run.
Remember earlier I said it was 2 seconds, that gap, Bollinger, the 53 Toyota, trying to chase down Iverson. That thing is 0.6 seconds now. Bollinger really making up time to close up on Iverson, and he's also shut the gap down on the leader to 5.95, back from 6.5. So 53 on the move. Let's see how he handles the lap traffic, though, before he gets to Iverson. He's got the Colonel in between him and Tony.
Yeah, he's got a lot of traffic here, and this time by 50 to go, the window is open, so we could see maybe an early pit stop for him as well, try and get out of this traffic and try and chase him down. But ideally, you want us to go a little bit longer. That overcut seems to be a little bit better, but Bollinger seems really fast. Last time by, he was a little bit slower than our race leader, but now he started to hit that dirty air. For the past few laps, he's been about half a tenth quicker than our race leader, Jordan Fisher. So Bollinger, if he gets some clean air, he definitely's got something for that race leader, Jordan Fisher, out there. But he's got a long gap behind, as that shows you Jordan Fisher had that clean air early on in the run. Bollinger didn't, so he's been fighting his way through the pack. He's been fast, but he's lost that time through track position.
Yeah, now we're really going to see what he's made up of, because he's got old tires are starting to wear, and now he's got Tony Iverson in front of him, and Iverson rides that apron about as good as anybody in this league. And directly above them, you can see Stinson, Tucker. So 2, 3, 4, and 5 have all packed up again. Jordan Fisher now enjoying almost 6-second lead over this group of drivers.
I think what's happening here with Tucker, he's not as fast as the other drivers, but that dirty air, he's able to hold them off through 1 and 2. They can't find a way through 3 and 4. He's just playing defense perfectly, and now it's created a train behind him. So now Stinson, maybe not being aggressive to try and get by him, trying to take his time. He hasn't been able to get by Tucker, and now he's brought Iverson, and now he's brought Bollinger to to that battle for second. Iverson, he's trying to look to the inside. He's using under the white line, and he's going to come back on the racetrack. He's going to get sideways. He's going to spin it down to the apron. He's going to tag the inside wall. Iverson, just the transition from the apron to the flat again. He's going to catch him off guard. He'll spin it around.
It's just a barely touch, though. Like you know, you're talking to Dad on prom night. I barely touched her, Dad. Barely touched it. It's still fine. He's still rolling. Everything's cool. 13 back on the track, but that is going to cost him a lot of position. And you got to wonder about tire wear, as there was definitely some sliding there, flattening them out. Meanwhile, up ahead of them, look at Stinson gets by Tucker after that foolishness. I was going to make the same observation that you did, Aaron. Jay Stinson, not known for using the front bumper. Jay Stinson, not known for making aggressive moves. And this is a lesson right here to all the young drivers. Stinson waited, and then finally, when Tucker's tires wore down enough, Stinson got by him with no contact. Really good driving right there by the 60 of Jay Stinson.
Especially if you want to finish this race tonight, you have to be patient. You don't want to force anything. As Darlington, the track too tough to tame. You don't want to force anything, be aggressive, because that track will tame you, especially when you try and pass someone. We saw it happen with Finley. If you try and make a move in 1 and 2, it can be very dangerous, cost you a lot of time. So he's taking his time, and now he's up to second. We'll see if he has anything to chase down and maybe close that gap a little bit to Jordan Fisher. But now Bollinger, he's going to take that spot away. He'll move up to third, so he's now got a little bit of clean air. So he'll try and drive it down, as he was gaining a lot of time on that race leader, Jordan Fisher. But now, through that battle, he lost another 1.5 seconds. So he's got 7.3 seconds to gain, but Jordan Fisher really far out in front, as Stinson did not get by Tucker as quick as possible, and that really held up the rest of the field.
6.7 second lead for Jordan Fisher ahead of Stinson. We just saw Bollinger get by Tucker. Tucker really suffering from tire wear as he is letting those guys go by. And, you know, just to double back down on that aggressive driving thing, that's what we saw happen to Tony Iverson. Tony Iverson drove the way he normally drives, down on the apron, but with these older tires, it just hurt him there. I mean, we're on lap 78 right here, and the last time that we saw Iverson pit was 35. So he had 40 lap old tires when he made that move right there. That right side just kind of spins right around on you, especially making the aggressive moves. So we'll see, continue to monitor. Here's Babcock. This is a very aggressive driver right here. This late in the run, if he jerks that wheel too hard, we could see the same effect. Let's see the patience level of the Rooster.
Yeah, he's been trying to work that back bumper of Blair Saunders. This is the closest battle on the racetrack right now, only a 1/10 of a second. He should have looked to the inside here off turn 2. This could get very tight, especially late in this run. It looked like he had to turn it down a little bit. He got a little bit loose, lost that back end just a little bit. But now he goes down to the 3. He's going to try and drive it in, try to slide up in front of Saunders. He will take that spot away. Saunders, not the grip, gets a little bit of dirty air, loses the front nose a little bit with that dirty air. As Babcock, he'll take that spot away. He'll drive up to 7. That's really good run for Babcock. He pitted that last yellow. He's definitely going to have the most fuel of all these drivers, so he can go a little bit longer than everybody else. But he's got Meyer back in that traffic. Now he's been a little bit patient. He's been working his way through it. Oh, Sanders, though, really big slide as he's a lap down. He got caught up in an incident earlier. So Sanders, he almost lost it there off turn 2. Hold on to it. He's 12 laps down right now, just trying to pick up some points.
That was exciting. Now we're talking about fuel, Aaron. At the beginning of this race, you told me they could make it about 50. Pushing it, they could make it about 50. Well, guess what? We're on lap 81. Matt Tucker last pitted on 29. Jay Stinson last pitted on 29. Now, I'm not good at math. I went to public school in Texas, but 50 plus 29, that's 79. We're on lap 81. I mean, these guys got to be pushing the limits of what these cars can do. They got to come in now. The question is, though, do you risk tires on a green flag pit stop? Here comes Gambrell and Beverly.
Yeah, you gotta wait for those tires. I think we had a few cautions that allowed them to save a little bit of fuel in the yellow, so we're not too much farther. Maybe about 5 or so more laps maximum before we start to see some of these drivers come down pit road. And we're going to start to see these drivers start to flood pit road here. But who comes first? Who pulls the trigger first and comes down pit road? Bollinger, he moves to second, as we saw up in front. Stinson, he falls back. Matt Tucker, he'll come down pit road from from that up front. So Matt Tucker from that top 5, he'll come down pit road. We'll see if he takes 4 tires. Don't think we'll see 2 tires, but you could see a 2-tire strategy call maybe play out later in this race if we get a yellow. Jax Duval, he'll come down pit road as well. So a lot of these drivers are going to start to come down pit road. Now you got to be careful. Darlington, really tricky pit road. You don't want to get speeding penalty.
Oh, and meanwhile, the rookie, Eric Gambrell, we saw him lead laps. This dude's been in the pit for 4 minutes. I don't know if he had to run to the porta-john or what, but the 946 not having a good one right now. Here comes Jay Stinson. Here comes Blair Saunders. Business picking up here in the pit.
Yeah, everyone coming down pit road. Don't want to be aggressive on pit road here and get a speeding penalty. You want to push it as much as you can, but you don't want to over push it. Now, especially for Jordan Fisher, he's got an 8-second gap already to second, so he can just take his time. He doesn't need to force anything down pit road. He's got a big wiggle room already. So Fisher, he can take his time here. He's still out on pit road. Novella comes down, Stinson comes down, Stewart comes down. So we're going to start to see everyone come down pit road. Fisher's still staying out of the racetrack. Bollinger stays out of the racetrack. But we'll start to see where these drivers on the new tires that will start to kind of come out together. And maybe we'll see some undercuts and overcut strategies start to merge together. Novella's down pit road here. Everyone taking 4 tires and topping it off on fuel because we're just within that fuel window. We're about 45 to go. So still, if you get a yellow late, not going to have enough for an overtime or so. But Blair Saunders, though, pit road penalty, speeding on pit road, it looks like.
You can't do that. Meanwhile, I know what. Here comes Fisher finally. You know, Fisher, though, he ran a 30.24 that last lap, and the fastest guy on the lap was a 29.37. That was Tucker coming out of the pit. So even though he had old tires, Fisher and Bollinger were only about 0.8 of a second slower than the guys that just came out on fresh tires.
Yeah, so he's been doing good on those old tires, but we're starting to see these drivers get back up to speed. Bollinger's still out on the racetrack. Now, this is also a question. You stay out a little bit longer, you maybe risk a caution. You maybe get a caution at the right time and trap a lot of the field lap down. So maybe Bollinger's looking for that to happen. So we'll see where Bollinger goes. He's currently, right, my ticker showing he last pitted 45 laps ago. He topped it off on fuel a little bit earlier, so Bollinger has a little bit extra fuel. He could be hoping for that yellow. If he gets a caution, he's sitting pretty as most of the field 1 lap down.
Fitted on 41, and he only took fuel. So the guy actually has 2 sets of tires right now that he can turn to. So he could come in right now, take 4 if he chooses to do so, and he's still got that extra set if there's a late caution, so that he would be one of the faster guys on the track. Colin won at Charlotte. He's the defending champion. This guy right now has got to be happy. But as you said earlier, Jordan Fisher taking this moment to come in. Fisher did take 4 tires, but Fisher hitting early, we're going to start to see him eat into the lap times of Colin Bollinger. At least 0.8 of a second if Matt Tucker's lap times are any comparison. But the reality is Jordan Fisher, fastest in practice. Jordan Fisher took the pole. Jordan Fisher, one of the fastest guys on the track.
He's been fast all night long. Bollinger, he'll come down pit road now as Fisher. He came out 8 seconds ahead of Stinson. So we're expecting to see Bollinger gonna go behind Stinson and Tucker. He's gonna have that overcut though. He's gonna have about 5 lap fresher tires than Jordan Fisher. So maybe a little bit less, maybe about 4 laps. But Bollinger, he'll have that fresher tire, so he'll be able to gain a little bit more time maybe. He's already 8 seconds back, so he's still going to have a lot of time to gain. I mean, still have a lot of time left. You could see a caution as Babcock now to the race leader, as he can go a little bit longer as well. If we see a caution here, before Babcock comes down pit road, we can see a lot of these drivers chap the lap down.
Yeah, that would be something. And we just saw some serious team strategy. Colin Bollinger took time in the front, then he passes it off to his buddy Andrew Bolander, who led a lap, who passes it off to his buddy Rooster Babcock, who ends up leading laps now. So these teams, these guys in Discord still talking, and this team, even, you know what's funny, Aaron? They're not an official team. They're not one of the 9 teams going for a championship, but that little group, Babcock, Bolander, and Sean Walton, they are a force. It's just funny they're not going for points this year.
Yeah, and also a note there, Bollinger, 28-second pit stop. Really slow stop, but he didn't get any penalties, so I wonder if he had damage he decided to fix there. But really slow stop for Bollinger. That's going to cost him a lot more spots. He's going to fall all the way back behind Jose Medina, as Medina's back in 10th, the still staying out. Jack's Duval in 9th, so really slow stop for Bollinger. He's going to have to make a lot of time back up now.
That's weird. I would never do that personally, but I'm usually battling for 15th position, Aaron. So we're going to keep an eye on him. If there's no more cautions, if that pays off, maybe next time I'll do a little bit of repair instead of just coming out as quickly as I can. Meanwhile, battle's still going out on the track. 3 cars on the lead lap, waiting for them to pit. Here comes Babcock. Here comes Kyle. That's going to turn it over. Looks like Jordan Fisher is finally going to fall back into the lead. And look at the lead that he has over the rest of the guys. Specifically, look at the lead he has over Colin Bollinger, the 53 car, 25 seconds back in 10th, which will roll over into 8th once we get this lap cycle through.
And all these drivers, they'll cycle back through, they'll get back on the lead lap, but Jay Stinson looks like he'll cycle back to 2nd as he's about about 9 seconds back. Oh, we got a car around off 4 that could bring up the yellow right behind Jay Stinson. Well, we had 1 car go around off of turn number 4. It's the 01 machine, John Beverly. He'll tow it on the apron. That could have been a yellow.
Oh,
that could have been a caution. Looks like off all 4, just hard on the inside wall there. Almost bring out a yellow, just a little bit more, bounced a little bit more onto the racetrack. He could have bring out that yellow, and that could have thrown a wrench into everything. But he'll keep it clean. He'll stay on. He'll tow it back into pit road. So now it looks like all the lead lap drivers, they have now cycled back to the lead lap. And it looks like this pit cycle's done. So now it's kind of a race to the final 35 laps here to the finish.
Well, cars still being shown on the lead lap. Thornton and Lewis, 13th and 14th. They are in the pits. I imagine they're going to fall a lap down. Really surprising to see Thornton fall back after how well the number 1 Chevrolet was doing early on in the race. Up front, Jordan Fisher with that advantage of 11 seconds over Stinson. As we were talking about earlier, this fella, fastest in practice, fastest took the pole. Jordan Fisher, that's the one that we saw at Charlotte, and here he is back in the front. Clean air, the land of unbridled optimism is in front of that front windshield of the 39 Ford.
Yeah, he's looking good right now. He's 12 seconds ahead of the field. But keep in mind, Bollinger really slow stop there. Babcock and Kyle, they stayed out a lot longer than everybody else. They're about an 8 to 10 lap fresher tires. And look, they're already back to the back bumper of Bollinger, so that shows you how slow Bollinger had a pit stop. But those fresh tires of Babcock and Kyle, they're hauling right now. They already put the Duval back behind them, and now they're going to try and break into that top 5. They're not too far back, only about 2.5 seconds to the back bumper of Bolander, and they'll break into that top 5.
Yeah, Colin Bollinger lost 7 seconds pit lap time there to Jordan Fisher. So we'll have to monitor and see just how close he can get as we go. Again, I'm talking about the number 53 Dr. Pepper Toyota of Colin Bollinger, 25 seconds back as we speak. Last lap, who is the fastest? Oh, it's your leader, Jordan Fisher, laying down that 29.92.
Yeah, he is flying out in front. He's got that clean air, but Matt Nuvella, interesting, 29.885. So he's got similar pace. He's starting to work that back. He's starting to close that gap in, but the problem is he's 17 seconds back. That's how far Jordan Fisher got in front before we even got the pit stop. So Nuvella, he's got that speed. If we get a yellow, you could see Nuvella go back to back.
I mean, what do you think happened here, Aaron? Was it just Jordan with that perfect pit strategy? He short pitted the other guys, and we'll just have to see if the tires come back and haunt him. I'll tell you what, let's go in car with Jordan for just a second. You ran this track earlier. Tell me what you were doing compared to what he's doing, and let's just see what you're thinking of going on with that 39 Ford.
Here's Jordan Fisher going through 3 and 4. He kind of wrapped that bottom there. And now I ran a lot of hot laps. I just kind of running qualifying. So the outside lanes seem to be a little bit better. But in the race, what I tend to found out, staying in 5th gear helped me a little bit. Helped me kind of set the car on the right rear and get it a little bit loose. Now, some drivers, they like it tight. Some drivers, they like it a little bit loose here. But personally, I like it a little bit loose, but here, Jordan Fisher, he's running that bottom. He's going to the 4th gear, so he could be kind of build that a little bit tight, and that's what he seems to be building. But he's wrapping that bottom as best he can, maybe a little bit, just a tiny diamond through 3 and 4, and he's actually going to 4th gear and to turn 1 as well. So that could also be hurting him, hurt that right front a little bit well. But he's got it locked down. He's running in 4th gear, pretty much all the way around the racetrack, except the straightaways. He's driving it in deep into 1, sliding up to the outside wall, and then cutting it back down off of 2, and he's doing the same, pretty much the same thing in 3 and 4, but just sliding it just a little bit less, and he'll cut it down to get that exit off of turn 4. He's driving it good, because right now he's in the lead by 12 seconds, and he's fastest driver on the racetrack.
Yeah, he last pitted on lap 86, so he's definitely got enough fuel. The question is, will he be able to hold on with these tires? And you got to feel confident with that 12-second pit stop. Jordan Fisher right now in the driver's seat. Let's go ahead and take a break and pass it off to our sponsor.
And we'll take a quick break here for KK Wins Games.
What's this? Trophies. Look at these trophies. Oh, yeah. Oh, a surfboard. Yeah. Oh, check out that thing. 224. Yeah. Oh, wine bottle. Big time. Cup of wine in the big time. Yeah.
Welcome back here to Darlington, as so far right now, Jordan Fisher is still leading the field by 12.5 seconds over Jay Stinson with 26 laps to go here from Darlington. The track too tough to tame. Right now, Fisher, he's working a little bit through lap traffic. He just put Iverson a lap down, and now he put Medina a lap down. Now he's trying to work that back bumper of Jax Duval a lap down. So he's trying to get there to that back bumper Jax Duval, but so far, Jordan Fisher still holding that lead by an easy 12.5 seconds. There's a battle back here with Kevin Kyle trying to get to the inside of Andrew Bolander, but now he starts to fall back a little bit as he got tight off of turn number 2 there. So far, kind of calm now. We're starting to see those drivers who really save their tires well pretty much separate from everybody else. But Jordan Fisher, 12 seconds out in front. He's trying to put more drivers a lap down every lap here. 24 to go. He's working to put Jax Duval a lap down. He's going to lap all the way up to the 8th place now. 8 drivers on the lead lap. Kevin Kyle, the next one, a threat of going a lap down. Fisher tagged the wall there a little bit though. So we'll see where Fisher, how he can do it. Right now, still holding the lead. But now Iverson, he's working inside of Medina now. They're both well lapped down, but this is the battle for spot. This is the battle for the top 9 spot there. Iverson, he's going to slide it up into 3. He'll take that spot away from that 54 machine of Jose Medina. But he's right behind Jax Duval, trying to take that 8th place away.
Duval, Iverson, Medina is for position. Boy, Aaron, if you would have told me that they were going to lap up to Duval, Iverson, Medina, I'd have said you were crazy. But Jordan Fisher just continues to run a flawless race. And now we get to see this amazing action just behind that number 37 Ford. Duval, Iverson battling. Iverson trying to ride that rail up top. Medina with a hell of a good day, though. Medina right now being shown in 11th. Behind him, a little bit further back, you're going to see Evan Stewart in his first race back. Blair Saunders, Hunter Hall now bringing it down into the pits. Late pit there by Hall. Boy, good racing, but I am just amazed at how spread apart this thing is. A caution could really change the landscape, but right now, Fisher, 12.5 seconds over Jay Stinson.
This is kind of how we saw last week. We got a few cautions in the start at Echo Park. And we kind of really got calm there through that middle part of the race. But at the end, we had a yellow that shook everything up. So wonder if maybe we could kind of see that happen again. And maybe even Matt Novella can go the same way. Because Novella, he's been having good pace here in this last run. He's sitting there in 4th. I mean, if he gets the yellow, he could have another chance to maybe steal another one away in that last few laps here. But 20 to go this time by. Fisher looking strong, just hoping to get back to that white flag so he can just run away with it.
Fastest car last lap going to be the 53 Toyota of Colin Bollinger. Just made his way around his teammate Robert Babcock to take over the 5th position. Bollinger, though, 24 seconds back. from Fisher. He's only really made up about a second and a half since that last pit stop on lap number 89. So Fisher has got to be confident that if he continues to hit his marks, that now 13-second lead over Jay Stinson will be good. Meanwhile, Jay Stinson has to start thinking about Matt Tucker, as Tucker has brought it within 0.7 of a second of the number 60 Chevrolet. So Stinson and Tucker might be the next interesting battle as far as top three cars go.
Yeah, Stinson, he's holding on to second right now. He's got Matt Tucker right behind him, but they're trying to get work in there. But so far, Stinson holding in second. He's about 0.6 ahead of Matt Tucker in that third place spot. So far working well for him right now. But Fisher 13.5 seconds. But Stinson might be his second, not looking so secure here as Tucker's trying to roll him down. Still about 0.8 back, but Stinson's just about 0.5 faster last time by, but Tucker's trying to roll him in.
Yeah, Stinson did pit one lap later, so as far as tires go, it shouldn't be an issue between the two of those fellas. As far as the top five go, Colin Bollinger has the freshest tires. Robert Babcock, Kevin Kyle now up into seventh. Those two fellas last pitted on lap 93. Great run by Kevin Kyle. We saw the 29 get into a little bit of an incident earlier on in the day, but the DX car, 29 Chevrolet of Kevin Kyle, now running a strong seventh place with a 2-second lead over the 24 of Andrew Bolander. Bolander in 8th, Tony Iverson in 9th, and Jax Duvall in 10th. But golly, Arron, only 8 guys on the lead lap. What a day for Jordan Fisher. I mean, I asked which Jordan Fisher would show up. I mean, this is a better version of Fisher than we saw take second place at Charlotte. I mean, this fella is just flexing right now.
Yeah, he is out front by a long shot. It's nowhere near close, but right now a battle that is close between Jose Medina and Jax Duvall. Even though they're a lap down, they're battling hard for that top 10. They want a top 10 finish, and Medina slides out in front of Duvall. I mean, if these two, they keep racing hard like this and tangle a little bit, we could see another caution tonight.
Oh, and you know what even makes it better, Arron? These two guys were on the same team on our Sunday Bonfire Premier Cup League. They were both part of Pony Up Motorsports. Duvall decided that he'd become part-time and start running hosted races instead of the Sunday League races. Not that Medina ever said anything, but that is not your teammate. And it was reinforced by Duvall's lack of attendance on those Sundays. So this should be really spicy.
Yeah, we saw Bonfire Racing, the Legends Racing Network, that past season. It was definitely fun to broadcast that week in and week out. And we saw a really good racing week in and week out. And we're seeing Duvall. He was there a few weeks. His elbow got a car right behind him. Right behind him. It looked like it was Hunter Hall, maybe. Hunter Hall, it was hard on the wall. He was sideways, but no one's behind him. The trigger, the yellow, hard hit to the outside wall. He's got right front damage. He's pulling it off of the apron. Looks like he's going to reset, but that almost was a yellow.
Oh, I tell you what, Jordan Fisher was begging them. You could hear his pit crew chief screaming over the radio, tow it, tow it. And he did. He finally did tow it. Hunter Hall getting out of the way with that tow job. Oh, that could have changed the landscape. But instead, we continue to see green flag racing. Fisher has improved that lead over Stinson now to 3.62. Stinson maintaining his lead over Tucker, and Novella maintaining his lead over Bollinger. So no change in the landscape as we continue to watch them running green here on lap number 119, scheduled to go 130 here at Darlington live on the Vortex Racing Network.
So far, the closest battle is Matt Tucker and Jay Stinson for that second place spot. About 0.8 of a second is that gap. And that's the closest battle on this entire racetrack. These drivers have spread out. We're starting to see who had the better tires, who made the better pit calls, and that's how we just spread out. It's just shaking it out how it came out tonight. But still, with 10 to go, we've had the opportunity for yellow. We almost just saw it there with Hunter Hall, but so far everyone seems to be pretty spread out. Looking slim for our yellows for some of these drivers, and any hopes for a win. As Jordan Fisher, lap by lap, just hoping to get it back to that white flag so no more yellows can come out and he can get back to the checker and pick up the race win.
Yeah, you know, right now, anybody that pulls the caution out is going to have a long, extended talk in their trailer with the 39 Ford of Jordan Fisher, continuing to just put down laps. That last lap, 30.28. Fastest lap, Colin Bollinger, 30.04. That extended pit stop of Bollinger, really curious. You just have to wonder. He lost 7 seconds right there, but even with that 7 seconds, that would have put him behind Stenson, so he would be battling for a podium, but still would not be able to close the gap, would not be able to match the excellence that we've seen out of that 39 Ford of Jordan Fisher. And now Fisher reeling in another fella as he's about to put another car multiple laps down.
Yeah, trying to put Blair Saunders a 4th lap down tonight. Saunders, who's running pretty strong in that top 10, had a few incidences. Now he's back to 13th, so he's still having a solid top 15 tonight, but he's almost about to go 4 laps down. Well, if we do get a yellow, we do have 5 drivers 1 lap down. Currently, that free pass goes to Bolander and 8. So if we do the yellow, we'll only see about 8 drivers battle it out for the win. But still 7 to go, lap after lap. It's got to feel longer for Jordan Fisher out in front right now.
Yeah, just counting off laps right now. Lap 124, scheduled to go to 130. This has been an amazing run by Fisher here today. Last week, caught up in a caution, ends up multiple laps down at Echo Park. Don't know whose fault it was. He was driving aggressive, made contact with another car. Those two guys ended up both losing laps. The week prior at Kansas, same story, as we saw him get involved in late lap incident, costing Fisher positions. Fisher running top 10 at Kansas, running top 5 last week at Echo Park. This week, this is the guy we saw at Charlotte. This is the fella that we saw running up front the entire day, got victimized by a on-fire Colin Bollinger. Colin not having that great day, but Jordan Fisher is. Lap 126 coming to conclusion, and that 39 just looking so strong here today, about to put his teammate Saunders another lap down.
He's got 5 to go, but he seems to be struggling a little bit with dirty air, but he does have no worry. He doesn't have to put that past that 39. He can just back it off. I mean, he's got a half a lap lead pretty much. He's got all the time in the world. I mean, he could probably coast the last half a lap and still win the race by at least a couple seconds. That's how far he's ahead, and that's how dominant he's been in this long green flag run we've had to the finish. But meanwhile, he's got 4 to go. But these past few laps, Iverson, he's down to 0.6 of a second. He's trying to get Bolander there in the last few laps.
Yeah, really, really amazing to see this guy come back and do what he's done. Last week, Echo Park, Fisher ends up finishing 107 laps down in 27th place. At that point, we really started to wonder, what is the rookie made of? What can this guy do? Was Charlotte a fluke? Kansas, just the week before, we watched Jordan Fisher finish 21st, 2 laps down, but he did lead the most laps, Arron, and that gave us faith in him at Kansas that maybe he had something. Echo Park caught up early. It was kind of an aggressive move that Fisher made, but when you're fast, which he's showing us today, you're going to be aggressive. Those two things just kind of go hand in hand. And Fisher, even though caught up last week, this week, all the pieces just fell into the puzzle as we continue to watch this guy just putting together an amazing day of dominance. Fastest in practice, fastest on the pole, and now here we are on lap 129. This could be the Jordan Fisher breakout party.
1 lap to go. He's got the white flag now. He doesn't have to worry about no caution anymore. He's going to put that 25 of Sanders 1 more down. He's right behind his teammate of Blair Saunders. It's not going to matter. He's got 13 seconds to Jay Stinson in second, and down to the back straightaway for the final time. He's going to go through 3 and 4 one more time here tonight.
Bringing it into 3. You know, there's a lot of jokes made about the acronym of Ford, but today, Jordan Fisher shows that Ford means first on race day. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Fisher going to be the winner here at Darlington Raceway, race number 4 of the Monday Night Mayhem. Moonlight Racing League regular season number 5. Jordan Fisher is your winner. What a run. This guy flexed all over the field today, Arron.
Yeah, what a dominant performance. He got the lead there early in that last run, and he never looked back. It was a crazy move we had. We had the gamble up in front at that moment, and that shook up a lot of things, but he was able to sneak through. He was running back in 5th, and he made a 3-wide move earlier on in the race, and he did not look back. He took it, he took the lead, and he just dominated. He put everyone out in the dust. He said, "Eat my dust tonight," and he just put that forward, and he's going to park in a victory lane here in just a little bit. But first, he's going to do a burnout.
There it is, bringing it across the start-finish line. It took him 4 races, but here he is, the TI Racing captain, the number 39 of Jordan Fisher, bringing it in for a burnout here right on that cookout start-finish line. What a hell of a day by this guy here today. Jay Stinson gonna bring it home in second. Matt Tucker gonna get a podium. Look at Matt Novella. Last week he wins, this week 4th, so continuing with those top 5s. Colin Bollinger, a lot of big names up there at the front, but I mean, this is Fisher's breakout party. Arron, I know it's too soon to talk about who could be a champion. It's too soon to talk about points. You know, I've been chastised by all the league admins to knock it off. But when you see somebody do this, you saw him lead the most laps in week 3. You saw him get second in week 1. And now you see him win in week 4. This is a guy that's on your radar. I mean, he just punched his ticket to the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure, and he dominated this race tonight. Put it on the pole faster than practice. I mean, he just dominated. He showed these drivers tonight what you have to do here. I mean, to be honest, he tamed the track too tough to tame, but compared to everybody else, he put it 13 seconds in the rate, 13 and a half seconds in the lead, and took that win away. And I mean, he is one to look out for. I mean, he won at Charlotte, and now he wins tonight. He's definitely one to look out for later throughout the season, especially in those playoffs.
Yeah, and you see the usual suspects in that group. Jay Stinson, this is a constant top 5 runner. Matt Tucker 3000. You know, he was one of the first guys that ever had me talking about iRacing caps. Matt Novella won last week. Bollinger, you know, champion from last season, winner in week 1. All the usual suspects make their way up to the front here. Babcock, great run, gonna finish 6th. Kevin Kyle, what a great day for the 29 DX Chevrolet driver, gonna finish in 7th. Andrew Bolander, our Kansas winner, gonna finish 8th. Tony Iverson knocking on the door. You know, it's funny. High Side Hustlers, no wins on the season yet. Tony Iverson, David Owens, Buddy Sully, and Eric Thornton. You'd think by now, week 4, one of them would have a win. They're still the leaders in points, but no win as of yet. 10th place, the 54 Toyota of Jose Medina. Medina continuing, second-year driver, continuing to just show off and get better every week. And he's on the Oculus, too. That's one of those scary things, if you ask me, Arron.
Now, I've driven in one of them before. It definitely is a whole new experience compared to racing on the few monitors. But he was able to pick it up tonight. He got a solid top 10 run. But let's talk about that 11th Florida man, Jax Duval. He was up in the top 5 earlier, but it fell back a little bit. He's finished just 11th tonight. A strong one for him in that 84.
Okay, so we're going to do the bonus interview because that's what we do here. Who do you want? If any driver... Who you want to chat with?
I think tonight Bollinger, because I mean he had that speed up in front tonight, and then he just had that pit stop that just kind of slowed him out a little bit. So I really want to know what kind of happened down the pit road there, and what do you think? He maybe just kind of what happened there, and he still had picked up and just how to get that recovery because he's still got a solid top 5. He had a really good drive to get back up there.
Look at him, he's hiding. He dipped on us. He dipped. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to invite him because he's on my friend list. You know, you gotta have all the fast drivers on your friend list, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. They can teach you a lot of stuff out there. That's definitely a good thing. But
all right, so see if he joins us in here.
Yep,
I'm gonna invite him to maybe come in a minute. But for now, let's see if we can chase down Matt Tucker as well. Tucker with that third place finish. And that is another guy that's hiding. These guys, seems like if they don't win, they get all sad and they run away. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. You know what? Let's go ahead and just I'm going to bring in Jay Stinson for you. Let's talk to the second place finisher, okay?
Yeah, we'll bring in our second place finisher of Jay Stinson here. So a good second place finish there. 13 seconds back, but a solid drive. You're able to hold off to that final run there. You're able to hold off Matt Tucker there in that whole run there.
Yeah, it was a fun race. I don't think anybody had anything for Jordan tonight. He was just class of the field. Good strategy, clean airs here, is dominant. So, you know, it was. I bet it was a real fun race for him. But he was praying for that white flag with about 25 to go. Just hoping to see it quicker. So.
Yeah, for sure. But you took that second place. You just drove it around. I mean, you didn't have anything for Fisher in that final run, but just kind of talk us through that tire tonight. I've been mentioning all night long that tire. Just how did that make a difference? Just how tough was that tire tonight? How tough was it to drive out there, especially at the track too tough to tame?
Yeah, you had to. You kind of had to maintain the tires. You didn't want to overdrive them early and then have nothing late because I didn't know if we were going to get a long run, but we ended up getting a couple. So just having to balance that. What do you think's going to happen and what's not going to happen? We took that last set and, you know, just kind of took my time, hit my spots, made sure I didn't make too many mistakes or to overcook them or heat them up any than I had to. Matt Tucker gave me a good run all night long. Every time I turned around, his car was there. So that was interesting, and it was nice to pull away and end this thing in second.
Yeah, you still really solid second place finish there, but I got through my questions. So, Gene, if you got any questions for our second place finisher, it's Stinson.
Well, you know, Jay, we got to talk a little bit last week. Things were really dicey last week. This week, I want to compliment you on patience. We saw Tony Iverson get real aggressive to try to make a pass. And he crashed. You waited, and then finally, when Tucker's tires seemed to give out, you just zapped on by him. Were you aware of your tires? Were you being cautious on purpose? What was the mentality there? And how did it feel to watch Iverson go the opposite way with that?
Yeah, I was being very patient. I was taking my time, like I said, trying to hit my spots, stay in much as clean air as I possibly could. I couldn't tell if Tucker was overdriving it that much or not, but I started knocking off some tenths there, so I figured he had maybe pushed a little harder than he expected, and I was able to make some ground up. He was very respectful on the pass, and we handled that pretty good. I think Iverson was actually behind me. He drove up on us pretty quick. I was going to be honest with you. Once we got clear and everything was in a good spot, I was going to let him kind of go by and just save my tires. But I think we came out of 4, and I think he overdrove the corner and got loose, which I hate to see that. He's a good dude, great driver. But patience is a virtue here, man. You gotta take your time and be as patient as you possibly can without thinking about what's happening right now, and look for the future and what you need to do later on.
I'll tell you what, Arron was talking about that before the race. You know, once the tires wear out, you really got to roll it in, and you got to think about watching that throttle control coming out. And yeah, Iverson got a little bit more aggressive. And you know what the difference between aggression and patience was here today? 7 positions. Jay Stinson pilots home, second place. Tony Iverson ended up finishing in 9th. So, hey, patience is a virtue, and this time being virtuous paid off. Anybody want to give a shout out to here today, Jay? I see you were alone. No Parham today. What happened to Venom, man? It was all you.
Yeah, I don't. Parham told me that he may have to miss this race. Matt was working, so you know I was the Lone Ranger in the Venom chat tonight, which was different. It had a weird feeling. Wasn't that great. I like joking around and laughing and having fun with those guys, so I missed them tonight. But I do want to thank them for always being there and watching and being a part of this team. They're a great bunch of guys. Want to thank you guys for broadcasting. Love going back and watching these shows, man. You guys do a great job. Can't wait to go back and watch this one as well. And the league for putting this thing on. One of the better leagues I've been a part of. Management from bottom to top, it's always just straightforward, easy to get along, great group of drivers. And as you can tell by the field tonight, they always stack the field with big fields and a lot of talent.
Oh, yeah, 28 guys tonight, nothing but a show here for the fans at the house. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Stinson, he is your second-place finisher tonight. Congratulations, Jay. Go have a beer, buddy. You earned it, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to crack one right now, buddy. And Jordan, great run, and we'll see you guys next week.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, guess who I tracked down, Aaron? I tracked down Colin. He's all yours.
So, Colin, you're able to pick up, you're running up there in that top 3, trying to break into that top 3 there in the earlier, right before that final pit stop. But a slow pit stop there for you. So I just wonder what kind of happened through that slow pit stop. At a 28 seconds pit stop there.
I mean, the crew chief forgot to put the tires on it. And when I say crew chief, I mean me. I forgot to click the tires on. Yeah, so we had to fuel, and then we had to put the tires on after. So to come back for a P5, I'm mad. I might have had a chance at a win. Definitely not. I think I would have finished second, if anything. But we had a second place run, and we ended up getting a 5th place instead. So, I mean, it's still not the worst, but just not what I wanted.
Yeah, you still had a very solid recovery. I mean, you had to drive back through the field. I mean, you'd made a lot of time back up. So just kind of talk us through how was that track position as well. You had to work your way through the field a lot of times tonight. You had a great pace out there, but you had to work your way through the traffic. Just how tough was out there to pass tonight? How were you able to get most of your moves done? And what do you think was the easiest way to get by?
The pass in here, especially with the new update and how the cars drive, similar to real life, it's a chore. I mean, it's not fun trying to get it done. I mean, most of the time you really have to time it up off of one of the exits. There's no room to really pass them in the corners. The corners are so tight. And I found a lot of times if I would get underneath somebody, I'd have to you have to squeeze them. It sucks, but you have to use them up without wrecking them, obviously. But gotta give them little room as possible, and just kind of try to get on your own way. But no, like you said, I felt like every time I'd make my whip to the front, we'd get hit, and then I have to go down and check just in case we have damage because I don't want anything wrong with the car. And I think that happened twice, and we drove through the field I think the most at anybody, but. Yeah, like you said, we brought a home P5, so I mean, I can't be too upset, I suppose.
Yeah, still a very solid run for you out there in that top 5. I mean, you had a really good drive. You had fast all night long. Just hypothetically, if you're able to get a caution there, what do you think you could have? Do you think you could have had anything out there for Jordan Fisher? I mean, he was out there all night long dominating. But
oh yeah, I think so. I mean. I was looking in the runs. I'm always paying attention to what the deltas are and what times I'm running is similar. And like, it looked like me and him were running the exact same times. Everybody else was about a tenth or two off going into the longer run. So I was like, if I can get a track position with a caution, I think I might be able to sneak one out from the 14th starting spot. You know, where we started tonight. But yeah, it just sucks. We never got it. There's a lot of cars spinning around. The flag man was just sleeping, or he just didn't want to throw it tonight. So. But it was a good win to him. I mean, he was out there, like you said, he was like 7-8 seconds ahead of the field before they even first fuel cycle went through. So those guys really didn't have nothing for him all night.
Yeah, still able to solid top 5 finish and a really strong run. But before I send you off on your way, but I just wanted to make sure, Gene, do you got anything for him?
Well, I got to tell you, man. First of all, how come y'all aren't an official team, man? What's up with that?
Because these guys don't want to show up, man. Sean Walton's sleeping, and so is Daniel Plant-Smith. I don't know where these guys are at. It's only me and Andrew Bolander now, so. Well,
your boy Babcock has been in there with y'all in the Discord. I mean, if you were to put together you and Andrew and Babcock, and besides, it's only the top 2 each week. Y'all would be right up there. All jokes aside, Colin, I mean, you punch your ticket at Charlotte, continue to make strong runs all season long, and here we are. Andrew Bolander first in points, Colin Bollinger second in points. You gotta feel good about, you're not an official team, but you gotta feel really good about what you and your teammate are doing at this point in the season, right?
Yeah, I mean, me and him have different approaches. He's a really sit back there and just let stuff happen, and I'm kind of taking an approach now this season where we're trying to run up front. I mean, honestly, the qualifying effort was horrendous tonight. But I'm always trying to get up there and be at the front and stay there, lead the laps. But somehow we always end up right around each other. He does a great job maneuvering through the field without really any damage or without any big incidents getting in his way. But no, like you said, we're doing a great job, and I hope we can keep doing what we're doing. Even though we're not a team, everybody knows we're all together. So.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at those Discords. Oh yeah. So, not that I would ever want you to talk about another driver, but Jordan Fisher. I mean, this guy pulled off a second place behind you at Charlotte, had a little bit of trouble at Kansas, got into a wreck at Atlanta, but here he is today, dominant. He had the pole, fastest guy in practice, led the most laps. Is this a guy that is now on your radar? Is someone you might need to be looking at as the playoffs creep up?
I mean, everybody who can run up there and win, and honestly, it's not even just winning. If you can just run up there and stay there around some of the guys that are in here, like Iverson, Thornton, like those type of guys, which he does, yeah, you're on the radar immediately. I mean, like those two, Thornton and Iverson, were pain in the ass all year last season.
Oh yeah.
Now we have Fisher in here, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we roll in the Kentucky later in the season. It's us 4 battling for a championship, and at the same time, some stuff can go the wrong way, and maybe none of us are in there. So I mean, it's fun thing about this league. Like, even I think all of us besides Jordan. I mean, like, I made a mistake. I think Thornton wrecked out. I think Tony made a mistake tonight. So like, we didn't all have the best races. Only what's his name? I forgot his name already. Fisher had a good night tonight. So yeah. No, it's very interesting, and I hope everybody's like having a good time watching it. It's going to be a good rest of the season, I think.
Oh, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch you, especially with your little the shenanigans that you had in that pit stop, and then still watch you come back and end up getting by Babcock there later in that race as well. Really good run today, Colin. Anybody you want to give a shout out to here today before we let you go?
Just you guys for doing a great job in the broadcast, and having such a good time, and Team Delusional, which that is the team, but we don't have them officially together. But other than that, no.
All right, that is Colin Bollinger, last season champion, winner at Charlotte. He will be a playoff driver. Put on a heck of a show here tonight. Second fastest car on the track, but did finish a little bit out of the podium. Colin, go have yourself a cold one, my friend. You have earned it.
Yep, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, that guy was fast all day. Sad to hear that he had a little bit of fun with his crew chief there, that being himself, of course, and having the tire problem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring him in. It is your winner tonight, Jordan Fisher. Jordan, are you there, brother?
Yes, got a copy, sir.
Oh, my word. I was talking with Arron. I was joking around. I said, this guy took second at Charlotte, finishes 100 laps down at Echo Park, finishes 2 laps down. What Jordan Fisher is going to show up tonight? My God, are you still wearing your cape, man?
Yes, the fish cape is definitely fully on tonight. So we had a really good run tonight here at Darlington. I was really pleased with the result.
I mean, you took the pole. You were the fastest in practice, and I think you led, golly, 113 laps tonight. Like, what was your biggest challenge of the evening?
I think the biggest challenge, honestly, was just saving tires throughout that each of the stints, especially the last stint. I could honestly say I was definitely feeling it in the tires towards the last, I would say, 10 laps of that run. So, yeah, I mean, I guess not too much of a challenge tonight, but at the same time, I feel like maybe some of the other guys I usually run with, like Colin and just a few others out there. Tony Iverson is another name, where maybe they didn't have the best night, but that's where you got to execute on nights like this and take advantage of it, because they'll definitely be up front when they're on. So
really magnanimous of you to speak of your competitors in that way, especially after a performance. I mean, Jordan, I'm looking at this thing. Your driver rating tonight was 146.7. Jay Stinson, second place, 116.2. This is like the coach took me to the woodshed and beat me like nobody's business. This was a serious flex. I mean, tell me about Darlington. Is this your favorite track? Or did just all the stars come into alignment tonight?
I mean, so I've been running a lot of Darlington recently, so I've had a lot of experience with other league races running at Darlington, and obviously Darlington Official is this past week. So, I've had a lot of laps there, obviously, and that experience is definitely carrying into tonight's. And I was just, like I said, glad to, was able to execute on that, and you know. Just from the coaching I've gotten from some guys from Team Conti Sim Performance, they've definitely pointed me in the right direction to not only go fast around here, but figure out how to consistently maintain that pace with the tire fall off.
Well, we saw it here tonight, and even lap traffic not bothering you. I will ask you about this, though. I was talking to Arron earlier about dirty air and tire wear. Is it worth sacrificing tires to ensure that you're in the lead, especially on a track like this, or more importantly, Dover next week? Is Dover a track where you would sacrifice tires just to continue to maintain a lead and use that dirty air to your advantage, especially with the aero package of these next-gen cars right now?
I guess yes and no in a way. The reason why I say yes, because track position is always going to matter with dirty air, simple as that. But then no in the fact of sometimes, like for example, here at Darlington, when I was behind a couple of lap cars, it was better just to stay behind, be patient, because at the end of the day, in terms of making those passes around people, is all about getting the runs on the exit. So especially like through 1 and 2, I would be like the first one to lift mid corner and then just power out, carry all that speed and momentum into the bottom at 3 and 4. So just, and same thing will probably apply at Dover, where, obviously track position is going to matter a lot, but then just how you enter into the corners and how you exit through the corners, that's going to be really, really challenging and important to save tires. I think Dover is going to be a bit more challenging in that respect.
Well, we're going to be here to watch it because, that'll be next week, and we'll be super excited to see the battle. Arron, what do you think, man? You got any burning question for this guy?
I mean, he was just out front all night long. It was just I mean, you kind of answered that question, but that just track position. Just how important was really that? You pulled away and also you got that track position. You had that advantage. You had that buffer. Even if you messed up pit road, you had a little buffer to kind of take it easier. Just how tough was it getting all off pit road tonight?
It was really challenging because I got the call from my crew chief to pit a little bit before. It was right around 35 lap or so. So I wasn't sure about pitting at the time, but he told me to go in, so I just trusted him on that. So we restarted, I want to say, like 9th or 11th around there. So, it sucks giving up your track position, especially at a track like Darlington, and trying to make those passes. But given the pace I had tonight, I just knew that I just had to be patient in those situations when I kind of got back behind a few people, and that I would definitely find my way back up front, and which I did. And so just staying patient through those kind of situations and not panicking just on the whole track position. So despite going in and losing a couple of positions there through the pit cycle there, it ended up kind of working, of course, in the long term, because it gave me maybe some of the better tires compared to the guys who stayed out up front, whether they took 2 or 4, just having a little bit more, fewer fresh laps on them than them. So overall, just pleased with my spotter. Thanks, Chris, for making that call and trusting him through these races. So we've had a kind of an interesting start for my first time being here at MRL, against second place at Charlotte. We had bad luck at Atlanta, simply Kansas, some issues and whatever. But tonight we finally able to put it all together, and we're really hoping to carry this momentum for the rest of the season, because we're definitely going to need it against this competition out there.
I'm looking. You just mentioned Chris Lewis. Chris Lewis not running tonight. So was he spotting for you? Was that guy up there?
Yeah. He's been in the spotting booth every single night for me. So having him crew chief for me and focusing on the strategy where I can just focus on running my laps, paying attention to times, focusing on my tires, it really allows me to kind of hone in and zone on my racecraft out there on the track. So having him in the crew chief is truly a blessing and makes my job a lot easier on the track.
I love it. Hey, I'll tell you what, ask Chris if he would mind coming on to the show before we start next week. I'd love to just chat with him. The crew chiefs don't get enough love. Somebody spending that much time talking in your ear. I've wrecked out early and helped teammates to top fives and podiums, but I've never been so loyal and passionate that I just did it from the start. What about you, Arron? You ever just say I'll pit from the beginning? You'll do that?
I have yeah. Well, I haven't starting parked for that, but if I did especially it wasn't really recent, but back in May, as for college years, I did wreck out pretty early, unfortunately, but I spotted my teammate and friend to the finish, and he ended up getting a 6th place finish out of that one at Charlotte, so that was cool. But yeah, sometimes I do stop in that spot. Sometimes I do step in that spot or roll, but it definitely is fun and also a little bit more relaxing. But you also got to kind of be on point as well, just as drivers, because you got to keep an eye out on everybody else around your driver too. So it's a little bit more stressful at some points as well, especially when you come down to making those strategy calls.
I love that that's what you said, Jordan, was having him tell you pit now, and it was you felt off, but you trust the guy. It comes through. You don't have an Alan Gustafson in there, so you're in good shape. Good work by you and Chris both tonight. My dad hates that guy, so I love roasting him. Jordan, anybody you want to give a shout out to here tonight? And Chris going to be on top of that list, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Chris first and foremost. He's been spotting me since the MRL, or he brought me into the MRL and a few other leagues. So, I mean, that guy's been putting in work. All I got to do is provide him a long stint run, give him my tire percentages, tell him how much fuel I'm burning, and he does all the math to it. So, huge kudos and thank you for Chris for allowing me to ride for TI Racing. Huge thanks to TI Racing. I want to thank Walter Burrow Ford. That was actually Walter Burrow Ford's first win as a sponsor. So huge shout out to Walter Burrow Ford. Really thank you for those guys, and thank you Tyler Coonan for making this livery as well. So thank you guys for broadcasting as well. You guys do an exceptional job, and honestly the racing out there seemed pretty awesome, and I look forward to racing against like Colin, Tony. There's just a bunch of guys out there. I mean, I can go on and on with everybody on the track, so I'm really looking forward to future weeks with all these guys here, and just a really good night of racing.
Look at that. Amazing on the track, humble in victory. Your winner tonight, Jordan Fisher. Jordan, you have punched your ticket to the playoffs, man. Cannot wait to see you there, but more importantly, we'll see you next week at Dover. Can't wait for it. Go have a cold one, my friend. You earned it.
Thank you. Fear the fish.
Oh, yeah. You know what's crazy, Arron? Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom finishers tonight. The 5-car finishes 28th. That's a top 10 guy perennially. Joe Volpus, that's a 2-time MRL champion. Nick Mazza, that guy's won races on road courses and short tracks. Ricky Mandela, we saw him Rookie of the Year last year, and he was top 10 in Bonfire Sunday Premier Cup. This was a mean track tonight, man.
Yeah, it's always called the Lady in Black, and the track too tough to tame. I mean, it will eat you up, spit you out, and that's also kind of what it is next week at Dover as well. The Monster Mile. Miles will tame some few of these guys next week as well. I can tell you that one for sure. But especially 2 tough racetracks back to back, and we're gonna see a lot of fun action next week at Dover as well. So that'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I cannot wait. As we see, we're going to roll up into Dover next week. Big movers this week, of course. Jordan Fisher, with the power of that win, he pushes himself into the Final Four. Also, though, moves up 7 spots, finds himself in 3rd in points, but still about 24 behind Andrew Bolander. Jay Stinson returns, pushes himself up 10 spots. Good work on his part. And the other big story, David Owens misses his 2nd race. David Owens has now only run 2 races, currently in 20th position. So we'll have to monitor what happens with David Owens moving forward. Also, Sean Walton has only run 2 races this year as well. Couple of big names right there, Arron. Going to be crazy to see if this is just an anomaly or if this might be a work schedule change. Or for David Owens, I know he got him a new girlfriend, so who knows? Maybe that is a Monday night girlfriend. That always makes it tough in addition to work.
Yeah, that can make it tough. That can make it tough for sure. But this is why you don't make some time conflicts. That's the key especially when you're racing for those championships. We'll see if he comes back.
I mean, I got it on my Tinder, bud. I got it on my Tinder. Like, cannot date between 10 o'clock and midnight on or 9 o'clock and midnight on Mondays. Cannot date. You know that you got to have your priorities out there.
You got to shut that down. You got. This time is for my time. I gotta go out there on that racetrack, and I gotta show these guys. I gotta go win. That's what you gotta do. So you gotta shut that down instantly. So we'll see if Owens, maybe he can get that sorted out next week, and he'll come back at Dover. Maybe he can go out there high side hustle at Dover, and he can go pick up the win.
That's right. You know, you go high side here, and then you hustle later. Come on, David. You could get a multitask, get a day planner, and get your booty back on the track. All jokes aside, though, Owens always a perennial contender, and we're going to have to monitor, especially in points, what happens with him moving forward. Other curiosities: Jack Duval has made all 4 races, 18th place. This is a guy that was in the Final Four just last year. Suddenly, after some aggressive driving, coming on the wrong side of it, finds himself a little bit lower, and he has made all 4 races. So we'll have to see what happens moving forward in the points as far as qualifying and making it into the final 12. Arron, I want to thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Arron stepping in. Zach, of course, is on his honeymoon. Arron, so kind to come in and broadcast with us. And dude, it has been so much fun. The energy that you have brought, all the production that you've seen, all the stuff on there has been from Arron. Dude, top notch. Cannot wait to see. And are you picking up the Saturday League for Bonfire next year as well?
We'll have to talk about that. We'll have to see. We'll have to talk over Legends Racing Network. But if you love what I did tonight, and also just want to come support Legends Racing Network, we currently right now kind of a little bit off week. All of our leagues kind of all off at the same time. But currently right now our finale on Thursday night for the Undisputed Cup Series, and you also have on Friday night the NR Cup Series. So if you want to check us out at Legends Racing Network on our YouTube, that's also great as well. But it was definitely fun. Hopefully, I keep tuned in. It'll definitely be fun to keep watching every Monday night. I mean, maybe if I got a schedule open here and there, I might come and step in and race a few myself if possible. So we'll see about that.
Yes, that's what you do. You come in, you make a Legends car, like the paint scheme, and then you bring it in, and we'll give you that primetime camera coverage.
I got that. Well, I'll keep that on note.
Yes, absolutely. Dude, been so much fun. That's going to wrap it up for us today, ladies and gentlemen. This action here today, of course, Vortex Racing Network, Mean Gene Money, Arron Brown, bringing it too wide from the booth as we saw the real Jordan Fisher just stood up and dominated the field here today, punching his ticket into the playoffs of race number 4 of our 13-race season. This will, of course, continue until they all get that showdown for our championship at Kentucky. And on behalf of myself, Arron, league admins, John Beverly, Joe Volpus, Steve Fugay, David Owens, all the gang, the production truck boys. Been such a pleasure. As always, ladies and gentlemen, bottoms up and hammer down.
What's this? Trophies. Look at these trophies.